Chapter 869. How is it? Lu Bai, do you still want to find Lin Ray? Looking at Lu Bai in the distance, Su Ziqing stepped forward and squatted down in front of him. He said disdainfully, "Back off. You can't even defeat me. You can't even defeat Lin Ray." Although Su Ziqing felt that these words were somewhat exaggerated, he was right about one thing. Lu Bai was no match for Lin Li. Although Lin Ray had only revealed a little of his strength, Su Ziqing had seen the previous battle. That was why he was so sure. Puff! Lu Bai spat out a mouthful of blood. His face was extremely pale. The vitality in his body began to fade. Lu Bai had to take this seriously. Don't be agitated. Otherwise, when your vitality fades and your aura dissipates, no one will be able to save you. Looking at Lu Bai's agitated appearance, Su Ziqing's heart softened. Although Lu Bai had woken him up, it had not reached the point of killing him. With a thought, she took out a blue medicinal pill filled with a medicinal fragrance from her ring and handed it to Lu Bai. She said softly, "Take this and eat it. Although it can't completely heal your injuries, it will be better than it is now." Without waiting for Lu Bai to speak, he threw the elixir into his hands. Then, he got up and prepared to leave. Thank you." An extremely weak voice came from behind. Although the expression on his face was good because of the pain, there was a look of gratitude on his face. He knew that if Su Ziqing had not shown mercy, he would have been in the 9 underworlds before reincarnation. "No need to thank me. After all, there is no deep hatred between us." With that, he stepped forward and walked towards the door. Thank you for the elixir." Lu Bai's voice sounded again. At this time, Su Ziqing, who had already walked to the door, stopped. He did not turn back, nor did he respond. He just stood there. "Thank you. Although you showed mercy, although you defeated me, I still want to see Lin Ray. After all, I have not seen Lin Ray's true strength. I, Lu Bai, will not give up on the true way of the sword. Even if the world collapses, even if the water flows backward, I, Lu Bai, will not give up." This sentence was full of unwavering, unyielding, and indomitable momentum. Ha! You're still stubborn. If you're not stubborn, you're still a fool. Upon hearing Lu Bai's words, Su Ziqing, who was standing in front of the door, sneered. "If you want to wait, then do as you please." However, as he spoke, he turned his head, and a murderous intent flashed in his eyes. Then, he said in a low and deep voice, "I don't care if you can find Lin Ray or not. This is your business. However, you must not disturb me like before. Otherwise, I won't be merciful next time. At that time, I can't guarantee that my hand will tremble and a hole will appear in your heart." Lu Bai was stunned. At this moment, other than being stunned and shocked, there was nothing else. At this moment, Lu Bai believed that Su Ziqing was serious this time. If he made the same mistake again, then the next time, it would really be like what Su Ziqing had said just now. A hole in his heart. As he thought about it, he shuddered. Fear filled his entire body, and cold sweat flowed down his face. You can wait on your own." As he spoke, he ignored Lu Bai and stepped into the courtyard. Dong! A muffled sound rang out. Su Ziqing closed the door, and his figure completely disappeared from the eyes of the crowd. Uff! The sound of rapid breathing came out of Lu Bai's mouth. His chest rose and fell violently, as if he had just undergone intense exercise. There will always be someone better than you. For such a young man to possess such practicality, it seems that I will need to work harder in the future. Otherwise, as he thought of this, Lu Bai propped himself up with great difficulty. Using his sword as a support, he supported his tired body and walked towards himself. At that moment, the onlookers in front of him realized Lu Bai's intention and automatically opened up a path for him. They watched as Lu Bai slowly walked away from the crowd. In a quarter of an hour, Lu Bai had completely disappeared from the eyes of the crowd. In response to this, the onlookers, who had lost their interest, hurriedly left the courtyard and went about their own business. Perhaps it was because everyone was very eager to improve their practical abilities, but the news of Su Ziqing defeating Lu Bai did not spread within the sect. Furthermore, no one knew that Su Ziqing had appeared from Lin Ray's courtyard. Perhaps it was because of Liu Bai's strength that this matter did not ferment as it usually did. Instead, it was as quiet as still water. Time passed day by day. After Liu Bai was defeated by Su Ziqing, he returned to his residence and took the blue pill. He was amazed. Originally, he thought that he would need to rest for a few months. Who would have thought that he would be as good as new in just 2 days? After this incident, he knew his shortcomings. Subsequently, he did not go to the courtyard as he had said. Instead, he went into seclusion to comprehend his sword intent and make a breakthrough in his cultivation, so that he could surpass Su Ziqing as soon as possible. As for Lin Rei, in the past few days, it could be said that he had lived quite comfortably. In the past few days, although he did not make much progress in refining weapons, his cultivation had improved a lot because he had lived a peaceful life and did not think too much. Originally, he was at the peak of the middle stage ultimate god realm. Now, in the past few days, his cultivation had completely reached saturation. At this moment, there was only a thin layer between him and the late stage ultimate god realm. As long as he could find an opportunity, he would be able to reach the late stage ultimate god realm. However, that opportunity alone had sealed the futures of countless people. Thus, even so, Lin Li didn't dare to be the slightest bit careless. In Lin Rei's room, Lin Rei, who was sitting cross-legged on the bed, suddenly opened his eyes. A flash of light instantly rushed out. The middle stage ultimate god realm cultivation in his body was withdrawn by Lin Rei the moment he woke up. Not a trace of it was left in his body. At this moment, Lin Rei once again became an ordinary person who did not know how to cultivate and did not have a trace of spiritual energy in his body. Phew! It seems that this kind of life can really help me break through to the late stage ultimate god realm. I just don't know where my opportunity is. As he said that, his originally happy expression became melancholy, and there was a hint of urgency on his face, however. This expression was quickly concealed by Lin Rei, and his whole person returned to his usual self. As the saying goes, don't care if it doesn't concern you. At this moment, Lin Rei's appearance and demeanor were exactly like that. It was as if everything that happened had nothing to do with him. He raised his head and looked at the bed. Rays of sunlight shone in through the window. Feeling the residual warmth of the sun, his heart felt inexplicably peaceful. It's time to go out for a walk. After all, I'm now a disciple of the Talisman Grandmaster Sect. Moreover, I might be able to find the opportunity to break through to the late-stage ultimate god realm here. He got up, tidied up his messy clothes, and strode to the door. When he opened the door, a ray of sunlight shone on Lin Rei's face. It was so dazzling that Lin Rei could not bear it and closed his eyes. After a few minutes, he slowly opened his eyes. At this moment, he had gotten used to the dazzling sunlight. Lin Rei walked out. He was so curious that he forgot that Su Ziqing was still living in his house. He did not call out to Su Ziqing, but left the room alone. He walked out of the courtyard's door and began to wander around. Although Lin Rei had joined the sect for a few days, he had not walked around at all. Therefore, Lin Rei was completely clueless about his surroundings. The worst thing was that Lin Rei had lost his sense of direction. At this moment, he did not know where to go or where to go. He stood on the main road with a face full of confusion. Big brother, we might be able to get a very good mission from the mission hall after our breakthrough this time. Mission hall? Just as Lin Li was in the midst of his confusion, these words entered Lin Li's ears. Instantly, upon hearing this news, Lin Li laughed, and all of his confusion was swept away. Mission hall. TSK. I haven't been to this place for a long time. I wonder if the mission hall here is as good as the one in the Xuanzong sect. After making up his mind, he looked at the 3 people who were talking before and followed them without saying anything. Xiao Yun, we have to choose a better mission for our breakthrough this time. Otherwise, if we always choose low-level missions, the commission will not be enough. Yes, I agree with third brother on this point. It is indeed time for us to choose some middle-level missions. At this moment, the 3 of them were happily chatting and fantasizing. They did not notice Lin Rei following behind them at all. Just like this, The things that they talked about along the way appeared in Lin Ray's mind without missing a word. Lin Ray also received a lot of information about this. However, the most important thing was that Lin Ray felt happy listening to the three of them. He no longer had the feeling of not knowing what to do. Along the way, the three of them sped up. After a while, Lin Ray followed the three of them to the so-called mission hall. At this moment, Lin Ray was standing in front of a magnificent hall. There were carvings of some rare and exotic beasts on it, as well as some elixirs that even Lin Ray could not recognize. TSK, 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 a late-stage divine weapon. Although it is still far from the Xuanzong Sect's Great Hall, but is still okay. After all, the Xuanzong Sect's palace was given by the system. Furthermore, Lin Ray had forcefully refined it to have the ability to grow. When they arrived at this place, Lin Ray did not follow the three of them. Instead, he walked towards a mission hall alone. He was not very fast, but he still took 2 steps at a time. When he arrived at the entrance of the palace and looked up, Lin Ray was instantly stunned. At this moment, at the entrance of the mission hall, Lin Ray was stunned as he looked at the crowd in the Great Hall. It is indeed a large sect. There are already so many people in the mission hall. If the entire Talisman sect is here, how many people would there be? When he thought about the tens of thousands of people in his sect, Lin Ray felt a little embarrassed. Hey brother, who are you? I have never seen you before. What's your name? Can we be friends? You should know that I, Feng Xiu, am a very loyal person. How about it? A voice suddenly entered Lin Ray's ears. Lin Ray was immediately stunned. He turned his head and saw a chubby, fair-skinned fatty standing in front of him. His face was full of smiles, but there was a trace of longing in the depths of his eyes. You are. Lin Ray did not recognize him. However, if Su Ziqing was here, he would definitely recognize him. Wasn't this the fatty who was being chased by people in front of the random gate a few days ago? It was a pity that Lin Ray was not here at that time. Otherwise, he would recognize Feng Xiu. I am. Upon hearing Lin Li's rhetorical question, Feng Xiu was stunned for a moment before he chuckled and said, "That's great. I'm the all-knowing Feng Xiu who roamed around the Talisman Sect's inner court, outer court, and core direct disciples. There is nothing in the Talisman Sect that I, Feng Xiu, do not know. If you want to say it, I can answer it." Feng Xiu was stunned. "Sigh, I am afraid that he is an idiot. Forget it. Let's leave quickly. It is impossible for me to go home if you wait here." After he finished speaking, he did not have the chance to praise Feng Xiu. Instead, he walked into the depths of the mission hall. "You said that At this moment, Feng Xiu recovered from his excitement. When he turned his head to look at Lin Ray, he realized that there was still someone at the place where Lin Ray was standing. What the? Feng Xiu was stunned. When he turned his head to look, he saw that Lin Ray had walked far away. Feng Xiu cried out in shock and hurriedly brought his 2 to 300-pound body to the front of Lin Ray in an extremely strange way. He twisted his body left and right, and in the next moment he arrived in front of Lin Ray. How powerful was Lin Ray? How could he not sense Feng Xiu's approach? However, Lin Ray did not want to open his mouth because he was afraid that Feng Xiu would not be able to stop once he opened his mouth. "Hey, why did you leave? You haven't told me your name." "All right. How high is your cultivation base? Do you have a cultivation partner? Do you have a family or some..." At this moment, Lin Ray was speechless. This was completely different from what he had imagined. Even if he did not open his mouth, the person in front of him would still shoot endlessly like a machine gun. "What are you trying to do? Do I know you? Hurry up and leave. Otherwise, don't blame me for being impolite." In the end, Lin Ray could not take it anymore and could only threaten him. However, Lin Ray seemed to be muttering about Feng Xiu's face. He did not expect that after he said so, Feng Xiu would still act as if nothing had happened. He still had a smile on his face and did not show any dissatisfaction. "Io, don't be like this. I just want to know your name and your cultivation base. Tell me you are..." Scram! A roar came out of Lin Ray's mouth. Lin Ray did not want to endure it anymore. Otherwise, he would go crazy. At this moment, perhaps because Lin Ray's voice was too loud, the entire mission hall quieted down. Everyone's eyes were on Lin Ray. When this scene appeared, Lin Ray was stunned and quickly waved his hand to apologize. Ha! Unbridled laughter came from his side. Regarding this, Lin Ray completely lost his temper. Damn it, why are there such people everywhere? Su Ziqing was like this, Lu Yuanqi was like this, even Zhuqing was like this a few days ago. Now there was this Feng Xiu. This mother of asterisk her wants to torture me to death. Die. Chapter 870. As the saying went, of the 36 stratagems, leaving was the best stratagem. Since he couldn't outtalk Feng Xiu and wasn't as thick-skinned as Feng Xiu, Lin Ray could only choose to leave. Otherwise, if he continued to stay here with Feng Xiu, he would go crazy. Even if he didn't wait, he wouldn't be able to stop himself from suppressing Feng Xiu when the time came. Therefore, Lin Ray simply remained silent and didn't even look at Feng Xiu. It was as if Feng Xiu wasn't beside him and his hearing was blocked. Then, a relaxed smile appeared on his face as he strode forward. Feng Xiu was stunned when he saw Lin Ray's behavior. Ignoring me? No one has ever been able to outlast Feng Xiu. Today, I'm going to waste my time with you. I don't believe that you can keep silent forever. Linley didn't know about this decision. If he had known, most likely Linley would have found a secluded or sparsely populated place to suppress him without revealing his power. Or perhaps he would have used a spell to silence him within the sphere of wind, preventing him from speaking. As he thought about this, Windball chased after Linley, shamelessly following behind him. His mouth constantly mumbled to himself, unable to stop for even a moment. Towards this, Linley couldn't hear him at all. His hearing was blocked. Unless Linley was willing to activate it, or otherwise, Lin Ray wouldn't be able to hear anything. At this moment, he walked into the mission hall and arrived at the center. He stood still and scanned the surrounding walls. On top of it, there were densely packed jade tokens, and on the jade tokens were engraved all kinds of names and missions. For example, on the wall in front of Lin Ray, there was a jade token that said, Heaven's Wall City, Leaf Family Mission. Head to Heaven's Wall Forest and kill 50 Heaven's Frost demonic beasts. Obtain 50 demonic beast essences and demonic beast cores. Mission reward, 30,000 medium-grade divine crystals. Another example was Ox Village's Li Heirs Neo Family Mission. Help pick a red vetch fruit. Mission reward, 9 low-grade divine crystals. One of them was a mid-grade mission, while the other was a low-grade mission. Both of them were different in terms of revenge. Usually, no one in the Talisman Grandmaster would be willing to accept such low-grade missions. Of course, there would be outer court disciples who would accept such missions. However, those who accepted such missions were mostly people with similar circumstances. These missions were also divided into different grades. They were divided into low grade, middle grade, high grade, peak high grade, top grade, royal grade, divine grade, and the rarest supreme grade. Of course, there weren't as many divine grade missions as low grade missions. After all, cultivators didn't need to issue missions when they reached the supreme grade. If even an exalted level expert couldn't solve the problem, then there were still people in the divine realm who could. Saints. Even if there were saints, they wouldn't act for such trivial matters. At this moment, when Lin Ray's gaze fell on the wall in the corner, 3 purple jade tablets appeared on it. They quietly hung there without anyone paying any attention to them, as if they were completely covered in dust. Lin Ray was slightly puzzled when he saw the purple jade tablets. When he saw the drowsy Talisman Grandmaster's disciple in front of the purple jade tablets, Lin Ray was stunned. He strode forward and asked, Brother, may I know the meaning of this jade tablet? Why is it different from the other jade tablets? Oh, the disciple, who was originally drowsy, was stunned when he heard this. He tried his best to rejoice before he replied, You must be a new disciple who has just entered the sect. Yes, that's right. Lin Ray had just entered the Talisman Grandmaster and had been in seclusion during this period of time. Therefore, he didn't have the special attire of a Talisman Grandmaster's disciple. Oh, so it's little junior brother. The young man was completely energized when he saw Lin Ray. He lifted his finger and pointed at the 3 purple jade tablets behind him excitedly as he muttered, "Junior brother, I'm afraid you don't know this since you've just arrived. The trip to the mission hall is divided into many areas. For example, the area beside me is the Emperor-level mission area. Therefore, the jade tablets there are blue. The color of the jade tablets here represented their classification. For example, the lower grade jade tablets were red, medium grade to orange, high grade to yellow, peak high grade to green, superb grade to cyan, king grade to white, royal grade to blue, divine grade to gray, honorable grade to purple." "Oh, so this is a mission issued by a supreme god?" Lin Ray raised his eyebrows when he heard this explanation. He was slightly shocked. Lin Ray was surprised that someone would issue a mission after he had entered the supreme god realm. After all, in the divine world, other than those Tao fruit sages, Lin Ray thought that no one else could do anything to a supreme god cultivator. Looking at the purple jade tablet, Lin Ray really wanted to take it down and take a look. "Here, go and take a look." However, just as he was about to take the purple jade tablet down to take a look, a voice sounded. He lowered his head and saw a hand stretched out in front of him. What was eye-catching was that on the spotlessly white hand, there was a purple jade tablet. Looking at the purple jade tablet, Lin Ray was stunned. He looked up at the young man and asked, "You letting me see it just like that?" "Nonsense, why? You don't want to see it?" The young man rolled his eyes and looked at Lin Ray as he muttered, No, no." Since the other party had already done so, Linley naturally wouldn't refuse. He stretched out his hand and accepted the violet jade tablet, then turned his gaze to look at it. Mission: obtain the monkey wine personally brewed by the Monkey King from the 30-mile Peach Blossom Garden. Mission difficulty: 6 stars. Mission reward: 1 million medium-grade divine crystals, a set of ice bows and arrows at the later stage of the divine grade, and a set of ice arrows. "Oh, monkey wine and the Monkey King's wine?" Looking at the mission details on the purple jade tablet, Lin Ray was stunned. He could not help but laugh in his heart. A venerable realm expert who could not even handle a Monkey King was willing to issue a mission for the sake of drinking wine. If news of this were spread, he would lose face. Moreover, Lin Ray really did not know where the 30-mile Peach Blossom Garden was. As for the Monkey King, Lin Ray could not understand why a venerable realm expert would be afraid of the Monkey King there. "How is it? Do you feel that it's very difficult?" At this time, the young man beside Huang Xiaolong spoke with a smile on his face. Hearing the young man's words, Lin Ray wanted to explain. However, when he opened his mouth, he did not know what to say and did not know what to say. To be honest, this mission is the easiest. There are 2 more. Take a look." Before Lin Ray could say anything, 2 purple jade tablets appeared in the young man's hand. Then, he placed them in front of Lin Ray for him to admire. Seeing the person in front of him being so straightforward, Lin Ray was not used to it. After all, the person in front of him was very different from the people he had met before. However, curiosity was often more comfortable than guessing. Looking at the 2 jade tablets in front of him, Huang Xiaolong put down the Monkey King's jade tablet and picked it up to read. Alien Battlefield. Collect the divine souls of 20 sword slaves. Requirement is Venerable Realm. The cost of a Venerable Realm expert is 1 million high-grade divine crystals. The reward for this mission is 30 million divine crystals. The remaining 10 million divine crystals will be counted as the reward. Venerable Realm sword slaves? Alien Battlefield? Looking at the information on the jade tablet, Huang Xiaolong frowned and felt puzzled. At this moment, Lin Ray suddenly felt that he knew nothing about the divinity. 30 miles Peach Garden, Alien Battlefield, Monkey King, Venerable Realm sword slaves, divine souls. He had never heard of any of these before. Then, he lifted his head and looked at the young man from the Talisman Grandmaster in confusion. Then he asked, "Senior brother, I have never seen the 30-odd Peach Blossom Garden and the Alien Battlefield on the map before. Moreover, I have never seen these 2 places on the map before. This is the first time I have heard of these places. Were they?" Why are they not clearly marked on the map? This, seeing Lin Rei's passionate and shameless attitude, the young man was stunned. He understood Lin Rei's question. Because of this, someone had asked him this question before. Looking at Lin Rei, the young man said slowly, "Junior brother, to be honest, I have never heard of these two places. Of course, after so many years, I have a little understanding of them." In the blink of an eye, the young man shared with Linley all the information he had learned about the 30-mile peach garden and the alien battlefield. However, while sharing, the young man couldn't help but remind Lin Rei, "Junior brother, remember, it's good that you know about these two places. You must never go there. Even venerable realm experts have to issue missions to these two places, not to mention people like us who haven't even touched the threshold of the Emperor God realm." Okay, I understand. Don't worry. Although this sentence was useless to Lin Rei could feel the concern from the young man. Therefore, Lin Rei's impression of the young man was much better. Okay. Seeing Lin Rei nod in agreement, the young man sighed and explained, "Junior brother, to be honest, these two places are not well known in the divine world. However, don't think that they are not well known. These two places are comparable to any secret area in the divine world, especially the alien battlefield. I heard that it's an abandoned ancient battlefield. Maybe it's because it's a battlefield. The resentment has been gathering there for a long time. I heard that the divine soul of the sword slave is only at the divine venerable realm, but its power is far beyond the saint realm." Ancient battlefield? Hearing the young man's explanation, Lin Rei's interest was piqued. For Lin Rei, he could only reach the saint realm by fighting nonstop. There is almost no one in the divine world who could defeat him. Therefore, after hearing about the ancient battlefield, Lin Rei felt that it was very suitable. What about the 30 miles peach garden? However, Lin Rei didn't remain silent on the alien battlefield. Instead, he regained his senses and continued to ask, "The 30 miles peach garden? That's a good place. It would be even better if there was no place to stay." The place was as beautiful as its name suggested. The 30 miles peach garden was filled with peach blossoms. The fragrance of peach blossoms filled the air, giving people a leisurely feeling. It was like a paradise that people would linger on and forget to return. However, the Monkey King was a troublesome matter. Because of the Monkey King's existence, it was not easy for people to enter. The Monkey King's strength was at the peak of the late Venerable Realm. "Oh," Lin Rei replied. Hearing about these two places, he had a feeling that he wanted to find out more. However, these things were not important at the moment. He was still young, so these things are just fleeting clouds. He regained his senses and nodded to the young man. Then he stopped asking and picked up the third jade token. The words written on it were different from the first and second ones. It was a mission to find an alchemist for a daughter. The original text went like this: "I am Supreme God, Lu Yuan. My beloved daughter has a strange illness. Her cultivation has regressed for no reason. Even her vitality has started to decline. At first, it was slow, but as time passed, it became faster and faster. Therefore, I have to find an alchemist. My daughter's illness can only last for 300 years at most. Anyone who sees this message, please respond immediately. The reward for this mission is half of my wealth. I will not go back on my words. If I go back on my words, I will fall into the Avicii hell and be washed by the Styx River." He calmed himself down and put down the last purple jade token. I didn't expect this supreme god to be such a sentimental person. He is willing to give up half of his wealth for his daughter. This was a supreme god. Lin Rei didn't need to think to know how terrifying half of his wealth was. What do you think? Do you find it unbelievable? Do you think even a supreme god can have troubles? The young man's voice came from the side. Lin Rei was stunned for a moment. Indeed, so what if he was a supreme god? Didn't he still have troubles? Didn't he still have to issue missions to solve them? He nodded in disbelief and agreed with the young man. "You're right. But if I want to accept the third honorable grade mission, what do you think, senior brother?" "Oh, just accept it. Anyway, know what? You want to accept the honorable grade mission?" He was calm at first, but when he came back to his senses, he realized that something was wrong. Yes? Why? Is there a problem?" Or you don't want me to accept it? Seeing how shocked he was, Lin Ray asked. The young man was stunned when he saw Linley's reaction. At this moment, he didn't know what to say. He hadn't expected that a new disciple who just joined the sect would be so reckless and accept an exalt rank mission that he couldn't handle it all. However, just like what Lin Ray asked, the Talisman sect didn't say that new disciples couldn't accept the honorable grade mission. For a moment, the young man was worried. He didn't know if he should issue the mission to Lin Ray or, at this moment, seeing how troubled the young man was, he knew that the young man was afraid that he would be in danger. In this regard, Lin Ray smiled and quickly explained. Well, senior brother, don't worry. When I was traveling in the mainland, I met an alchemist in a valley in the south. His alchemy skills weren't invincible in the divine world, but he seemed to be invincible. In order to make the young man let down his guard, Lin Ray could only make up a story about an alchemist. When I saw the mission, I knew that the person might have a way, so I want to give it a try. The young man was speechless. Senior brother, don't worry. I'm not the kind of person who would seek death for no reason. That's true. Since Lin Ray said so, the young man had no reason to not issue the mission. Oh, by the way, senior brother, you have to keep this mission a secret. You can't let anyone know that I've accepted this mission, especially. Having said that, he couldn't help but turn around and look at Feng Xiao, who was smiling at him foolishly. He continued, especially Feng Xiao. You can't let anyone know about this, okay? Chapter 871. Well, don't worry about that. Hearing Lin Ray's words, the young man's doubtful expression disappeared and was replaced by a serious one. The young man had an inexplicable feeling about Lin Ray. He had an impulse to make friends with Lin Ray. However, he gave up the idea in the end. Don't worry. I know the severity of this matter. Moreover, you may not be able to complete this task. In that case, there's no need to record it. The young man muttered to himself and did not say it out loud. Well, that's good. Linley knew what the young man was thinking, but he didn't say anything. He smiled and put the information of the third mission into his storage ring. Then he said to the young man, Okay, senior brother, I'll go back first. Well, go ahead. Be careful on your way back. The young man nodded at Lin Ray and reminded him. Then he became as lazy as before when Lin Ray arrived. He looked as if he had not woken up yet. Seeing this, Lin Ray was stunned. Then he turned around and was about to leave the task hall. After all, he had come here to have a look. Accepting the task was just a sudden idea. Turning around, he stared at the nearby ball of wind, who was smiling at him. Linley felt a headache coming on. Damn, this guy. Brother, don't think about this place. It's a place for accepting venerable grade tasks. Let's not waste time here. Why don't you tell me all the things I asked you before? Isn't it good to make friends? Lin Ray's face darkened when he heard Feng Xiu's words. He had a headache and refused without thinking. No, I like peace and quiet, but you... He glanced at Feng Xiu and then looked at the door of the hall. We're not the same kind of people. Don't bother me in the future. I won't tell you anything. Moreover, even if I know, what can I do? Feng Xiu was stunned when he heard this. He was in a daze, and nobody knew what he was thinking. Good chance, Lin Ray said to himself. Then he exerted his divine Emperor Realm cultivation and used the basic footwork, the butterfly steps. In a flash, Lin Ray disappeared from where he stood. When he appeared again, he was already at the entrance of the hall. He turned around and looked at Feng Xiu, who was still standing there in a daze. The corners of his mouth curled up slightly, revealing a trace of disdain. If I still can't get rid of you, then... So I forget it. Let's just hurry. Halfway through, Lin Ray didn't continue. Instead, he turned around and used the butterfly steps. His entire body was like a butterfly as he instantly floated up. That's right, he was floating, not flying. The direction Lin Ray was flying towards was none other than his own residence. In the mission hall, Feng Xiu, who was still in a daze, finally regained his senses after an unknown period of time. However, Feng Xiu did not give up like Lin Ray had expected. Instead, a glint flashed across his eyes. No, a person must persevere. How can I give up halfway? Feng Xiu nodded solemnly as he thought about it. Then, he smiled and turned around to rush out of the hall. His speed was astonishing. If Linley was here and saw the speed of the ball of wind, he probably would have been shocked as well, because the shape of the ball of wind was simply too round and smooth. Thus, there was no way he could have imagined that the ball of wind could move as fast as the wind. Ha! Lin Rei, I didn't expect you to overestimate yourself and accept the task of a venerated realm expert. It's not that we don't want to let you go. You're the one who brought this upon yourself. You can't blame anyone else. At this moment, not long after Lin Rei and Feng Xiu left the mission hall, a man walked out from behind a stone pillar beside the venerated realm expert. His eyes were filled with killing intent as he looked in the direction where Lin Rei and Feng Xiu had left. Got it. Let's go back. Send someone to stop Lin Rei's task later. Another man appeared. Although Lin Rei has accepted the task of a venerated realm expert, it's better to be careful just in case. Yes, I understand. Lin Rei was completely unaware of this. Of course, even if he did, he wouldn't be bothered by it. In his eyes, these people were just clowns. At this moment, Lin Rei, who had just left the mission hall, returned to his courtyard. Looking at the house that he had just moved in and was about to leave, Lin Rei sighed. It seems that I can't stay in one place for too long in this life. After saying that, a gloomy expression appeared on his face. His heart was filled with desolation. This was the price to pay to become a powerful expert. Forget it. He sighed and looked at his house again. Then, he turned around and walked out of the courtyard without hesitation. He had to leave. The first reason he accepted the task was to go out for a walk. After all, there was still a long way to go. The second reason was to avoid Su Ziqing, Feng Xiu, and Lu Yuanqi. The three of them together would kill him sooner or later. Therefore, before they killed him, Lin Rei had to leave first. Of course, the most important thing was that he had to find a breakthrough in his cultivation. As the system said, although he could make breakthroughs in his cultivation by living a stable life, it was not his final destination. Not hesitating in the slightest, Linley left the courtyard. Circulating his deity emperor level of power, he instantly soared into the skies. Perhaps others would feel fear, dread, or worry towards those runes in the air, but in front of Linley, those runes were like illusions. His speed was astonishing. In just an instant, Lin Rei disappeared into the sky. In the instant that Linley left, the sphere of wind, which had left the main hall, hurried all the way to the random residence. Humph, let's see if you can escape this time. If you don't tell me, I'll stay here every day. I'll eat your food and live in your house until you tell me. Feng Xiu didn't know that Lin Rei had already left. Muttering to himself, he pushed open the door and walked in. If Lin Rei were here and saw Feng Xiu's reaction, he would definitely burst out laughing. But at the same time, he would be very glad that he had left before Feng Xiu arrived. Otherwise, if Feng Xiu had really done what he had said, and he had to pay for everything, Lin Rei would have gone crazy. Now that he had left, he didn't have to worry about anything. He just had to stay away for a few years before the end of the task. Half a month later, Tianyuan City was a city located at the center of the ninth state. It could be said to be a lawless area. Of course, it could not be said to be lawless. After all, there was a city governor's mansion in Tianyuan City that ruled over the entire city. At this moment, people were coming and going at the city gate. Everyone was smiling, and regardless of whether they were ordinary people or cultivators, they all seemed very friendly, as if they were old friends. However, there was one person who seemed to be an exception. He had delicate features, sword-like eyebrows, bright eyes, and snow-white skin. He wore a white Confucian robe and held a folding fan in his hand. He stood on the side of the road, looking at the people coming and going with a puzzled expression. Damn, am I seeing things? Looking at the people coming and going and the smiles on their faces, the young man knew that the smiles on everyone's faces were real. If you wanted to see if a person's expression was real, you had to look into their eyes. At this moment, there was no hiding the happiness in their eyes. Haha, young man, this must be your first time in Tianyuan City. Suddenly, a hand reached out from behind him and grabbed his shoulder, followed by a deep male voice. Hmm? Looking back, he saw a middle-aged man standing there with a smile on his face. Little brother, the city lord of our Tianyuan city, is a supreme god. Under his rule, all of us are very happy. Moreover, the most important thing is that cultivators and ordinary people like us don't bully each other. Is that so? Hearing this, the young man's furrowed brows relaxed. Yes, here, only friendly people are allowed to enter. If anyone dares to cause trouble in the city, then that person will not be allowed to enter or leave. Oh, ha! In Tianyuan City, there are a few unwritten rules that no one can violate. Even the sect leaders of the 7 great sects would not dare to violate them. Hearing this, Lin Rei's interest was piqued. If what the middle-aged man said was true, then this place was really a paradise. There was no fighting, no hatred, no bloodshed, and no deception. There was only kindness between people. If such a place was not a paradise, then what was it? What kind of rules are they? To be able to manage a city in such a manner, I'm very interested. May I know how to address you? I am Gong Jun, a native of Tianyuan City. At this time, Gong Jun did not rush to answer, but introduced himself. Hee, Brother Gong, nice to meet you. I am Lin Rei. I heard that Tianyuan City was special, so I came here to take a look. But I did not expect Tianyuan City to be so incredible. Ha ha, so it is Brother Lin. Yes, I will tell you as we walk. Hearing Lin Rei's name, Gong Jun laughed loudly and then dragged Lin Rei into Tianyuan City. Yes, Lin Rei was Lin Rei who had been traveling for half a month. Lin Rei did not rush all the way. After all, he wanted to slow down. So far, he had been traveling as if he was enjoying the scenery. Finally, after half a month, he arrived at his destination, Tianyuan City. Lu Yuan was the city lord of Tianyuan City in front of him. He was also the ruler of this paradise. After being dragged into the city by Gong Jun, they did not stop. Although Gong Jun said that they would talk on the way, in fact, Gong Jun did not say a word. Lin Rei was not in a hurry. After all, he had just arrived in an unfamiliar place. It was better to learn from Gong Jun. In the east of the city, in front of a Gong family restaurant, Gong Jun and Lin Rei stopped in front of the Gong family restaurant. Lin Rei, who was beside them, saw the restaurant sign and could not help but think of something. F*CK. Is this F*King soliciting customers? Lin Rei could not help but think of the hotel owners in his hometown who solicited customers at the station. The scene now was very similar. Brother Lin, this is my restaurant. Although it is not as big as a restaurant, it is still very good. He turned to Lin Rei and said, this is a small restaurant? Hearing Gong Jun's words, Lin Li was startled. Turning his head, he stared at the enormous building in front of him. As Lin Li saw it, this wasn't just some freaking small restaurant. This was far better than any restaurant Lin Li had seen in the past. Moreover, just the fragrance of the dishes that came out of the restaurant made Lin Rei's mouth twitch. He had an impulse to go in and try it. Let's go in and have a look. It is fate that we met. Today, I will treat you. Let's go. He was just about to say something, but before he could say anything, he felt a force pulling him into the restaurant. Here it is. Your braised bear paw. Enjoy. Your snow wolf meat. At this moment, Lin Rei was pulled into the restaurant by Gong Jun. The moment he stepped through the door of the restaurant, he felt a cooling sensation. Accompanying the cooling sensation was the sound of chatter and the sound of the waiter serving the dishes. The scene was very lively. Although the restaurant was very big, the first floor was already full. In fact, it was going to be completely full soon. Let's go. We will talk while we eat. Today, I will tell you about the rules and benefits of our Tianyuan City. I guarantee that you will not want to leave after hearing it. Is that so? Seeing Gong Jun being so enthusiastic, Lin Rei was not used to it. However, in the face of such enthusiasm, Lin Rei did not know how to refuse. Okay, let's go. He left as soon as he said he would, without the slightest hesitation. Looking at Gong Jun's back, Lin Li could only sigh helplessly and follow him. In our Tianyuan City, You can stay as long as you want. Nobody will care. Moreover, in this place, you will not be bullied by cultivators. They will even help ordinary people." As he spoke, a smile appeared on Gong Jun's face. "This is all thanks to City Lord Lu Yuan. You might not be able to imagine it, but this Tianyuan city used to be a city of evil. Killing and plundering were the main things here. However, ever since City Lord Lu Yuan arrived, everything changed. There's no more killing like before. There's only innocence and mutual help." "Oh, why is that?" Hearing this, Lin Rei was slightly surprised. To be able to turn a city of evil into a paradise, Lin Rei found it hard to imagine what Lu Yuan was thinking. Seeing the confusion on Lin Rei's face, Gong Jun smiled and said, "Actually, it might be because of the city governor's daughter. I heard that the city governor used to be a killing god. However, because he had too many enemies, in the end, those bastards turned their attention to the eldest young Mississippi. Although the city governor saved the eldest young miss, for some reason, after that day, the eldest young miss fell ill. It was a kind of illness that even the city governor was helpless to treat. For this reason, the city governor even visited all the alchemists in the divine realm. However, in the end, the result was that they were powerless. Perhaps it was because of this that the city governor left the path of killing. Perhaps it was to atone for his sins, or perhaps it was for something else." Chapter 872. Lin Rei followed Gong Jun to a private room on the second floor. Gong Jun pushed the door open, and a simple room appeared in front of Lin Rei. "Sit down." When they arrived at the room, Gong Jun gestured for them to enter before closing the door. The two of them sat down and continued their conversation. "For what you said, the Lord of Tianyuan City is quite a sentimental person." Although he had never met Lu Yuan, Lin Rei couldn't help but have a good impression of him after hearing Gong Jun's introduction. "Alas, you're right. Not bad. To be able to go to such lengths for the sake of his family. This person is very interesting. Let me ask you, in this world, how many people can do this?" As he spoke, Lin Li couldn't help but think of his deceased wife and son. Alas! Seeing the sadness and longing in Lin Rei's eyes, Gong Jun knew that this person had a story. He didn't expose him, but he didn't want to let the silence continue. He changed the subject. "Well, Brother Lin, I don't know why you've come to Heavenly Cloud City. If you need help, just tell me. Although I don't have much power in Heavenly Cloud City, I can help you with some trivial matters." "Oh." Gong Jun's voice pulled him back to reality. He turned his head and smiled. "Brother Gong, why are you doing this? Today is the first day we've met." To tell the truth, Lin Rei was puzzled. It was the first time they'd met, but Gong Jun was doing this. In the past, Lin Rei would have thought it was a conspiracy. But now, so what if it was a conspiracy? Was he afraid? Fate. "Brother Lin, do you believe in fate?" Gong Jun understood Lin Rei's meaning. Fate? Lin Rei's interest was piqued. "Fate is determined by man. I believe it, but I can't believe it completely." "Why do you say so?" "Good. Fate is determined by man. I don't know why, but I like you very much. And, judging by your extraordinary temperament, you're not a simple person." Gong Jun smiled and continued, "And we're all brothers in the world. All are brothers within the 4 seas." After hearing Gong Jun's words, Lin Rei could not help but repeat it. His eyes were filled with extraordinary splendor. "Okay." With a shout, Lin Rei took out 2 bottles of fruit wine from his interspatial ring and handed them to Gong Jun. He said, "Just because you said that everyone is my brother from today onwards, you are my brother." "All right." Seeing that Lin Rei was so straightforward, Gong Jun didn't continue to be pretentious. He grabbed the cup and clinked it with Lin Rei's. Then, he tilted his head back and gulped down the wine. His actions were extremely forthright. Gulp, gulp, gulp. The sound echoed throughout the room, like a cow drinking water. Boom! At this moment, a bottle of wine was finished by Lin Rei. The finished bottle was easily placed on the table by Lin Rei, issuing a muffled sound. Dong, dong, dong. Someone knocked on the door. Gong Jun stopped drinking. With a cold expression, he shouted at the door, "Come in." Jia. The door was pushed open. A young man who looked like a butler came in from outside. When he saw Gong Jun's cold expression, the young man lowered his head and hurriedly said, "Boss, these are the dishes you ordered. All 18 dishes are here. Look and serve the dishes." Yes. Instantly, the young man acted as if he had been granted amnesty. He hurriedly waved to everyone behind him. In the next moment, waiters came in one after another. After placing the dishes on the table, they left on their own. After a while, the dishes were served. The young man looked at them and saw that there was nothing for him to do. Then he bowed and said, "Boss, if there's anything, just call me. I'll be waiting at the door." Then, without waiting for Gong Jun's reply, he left the room and closed the door. "Come, Brother Lin, try my dishes and see if they're delicious." The moment the young man left, Gong Jun, who had a cold expression, immediately smiled and said to Lin Ray. Looking at Gong Jun's mood swings, Lin Ray smiled and didn't say anything. After all, this had nothing to do with him. Even though he said that he was Gong Jun's brother, he would be heading to the holy world in 100 years. Whether or not he could meet Gong Jun was another matter. Without thinking too much, he picked up his chopsticks and started eating. But really, Lin Ray didn't expect Gong Jun's dishes to be so delicious. The fragrance lingered in his mouth. Coupled with the fruit wine he bought earlier, this meal could be said to be superb. The meal didn't go quickly because Lin Ray still had many things to ask. Regarding this, Gong Jun could be said to have told him everything he knew. In the end, Lin Ray asked all the questions he wanted to know. He even found the City Lord Mansion where Lu Yuan lived. The City Lord Mansion was located at the center of Tianyuan City. Moreover, the City Lord Mansion was a landmark in Tianyuan City. It was easy to find. Finally, it took them 2 hours to finish their meal. During those 2 hours, Gong Junyu ordered the young man to serve another dish. "Oh, I'm finally full. I didn't expect Brother Gong's dishes to be so delicious. Really, TSK, TSK. He smacked his lips and stroked his stomach. Haha, as long as Brother Lin stays here, this Gong family restaurant will be your dining hall. You can eat whenever you want. Just tell the kitchen what you want to eat." Looking at Lin Ray's appearance, Gong Jun directly said and ordered the young man outside. Okay. It would be impolite of me to refuse." Lin Ray didn't refuse. Of course, he couldn't eat for free. Moreover, he didn't lack money. "Phew, now that I'm full, it's time to get to work." Seeing that it was still early outside, Lin Li couldn't help but think of his mission. He rose to his feet, intending to bid farewell. "Brother Gong, thank you for your hospitality this time. However, due to some urgent matters, I have to leave now." "What? You're leaving now?" Seeing that Lin Ray was about to leave, Gong Jun was shocked. He quickly stood up and tried to persuade him to stay. However, Lin Ray didn't give him a chance to persuade him to stay. "Yes, it's too urgent. Otherwise, I would really want to stay here. I have no choice. I hope Brother Gong won't blame me." Lin Ray said and bowed. "You're too kind." Seeing that Lin Ray had made up his mind, Gong Jun didn't say anything. However, he felt that it was a pity. It wasn't easy to meet someone who felt like an old friend at first sight. Now he had to leave. "Okay, Brother Gong, let's part ways here." "Okay, let's part ways here. However, if you have the chance in the future, you must come and visit me." "Okay." He didn't stay any longer and turned to leave. Looking at Lin Ray's figure, Gong Jun quickly followed. He only stopped when he saw Lin Ray out of the restaurant and was stopped by Lin Ray. "Sai, I hope we can meet again in the future." Standing at the entrance of his restaurant, Gong Jun looked at Lin Ray's back until Lin Ray's figure completely disappeared into the sea of people. Then, he reluctantly withdrew his gaze. He sighed and smiled bitterly with regret. Then, he turned and walked into the restaurant. At this moment, after Lin Ray left the restaurant, he didn't stop for a moment. According to the information he received from Gong Jun, he went to the City Lord's mansion. With Lin Ray's speed, it didn't take long for him to see the so-called landmark building. Speaking of which, Gong Jun was actually right. The City Lord's mansion was indeed a landmark building. However, the landmark Gong Jun mentioned was a little different from Lin Ray's imagination. Combined with the City Lord's mansion that he had seen before, Lin Ray couldn't believe that the house in front of him was full of ultimate God realm cultivators. At this moment, it wasn't a big house with 6 entrances and 6 exits, nor was it in existence like a palace. At this moment, what appeared in front of Lin Ray was the kind of ordinary house that couldn't be more ordinary. Even because the surrounding houses were very luxurious, it made the city lord's mansion look particularly miserable. It was an earthen house with only 2 rooms and a small courtyard. Looking at the landmark building in front of him, Lin Ray was completely stunned. What the hell is going on? Are they trying to find peace in this chaotic world? Or what? Jia! Suddenly, the door of the earthen house opened, and a woman with a delicate and pretty face but a sickly appearance walked out. Although her face was pale because of her illness, it didn't hide her beauty. What was a smile that could topple a city and then a country? Wasn't this what it meant? Typical, looking away from a woman, he said thoughtfully, "Is this Lu Yuan's daughter?" It seems that she is indeed sick, but this illness, I feel like I've seen it before. Although he said he had seen it before, he couldn't think of where he had seen it. Perhaps it was because his memories had been extracted back then, so Lin Ray wasn't very clear. At this moment, the woman who had just walked out of the courtyard was seated on a stool by the door. She had a look of exhaustion on her face as she sat there. Perhaps because Linley had been standing there for a long time without leaving, the woman noticed Linley and noticed that Linley's gaze had been fixed on her the entire time. In response, the woman frowned and couldn't help but show a trace of anger on her face. She got up and slowly walked towards Lin Ray. Lin Ray didn't know about this at all. At this moment, Lin Ray was still thinking about the woman's illness. She wasn't too far away to begin with. Soon, the woman arrived in front of Linley. Seeing that he was still staring ahead, the woman immediately said, "I say, this young master, what are you doing? Why are you staring at me? Staring at my door." The woman originally wanted to ask why he was staring at her, but she felt that it wasn't good to say such things in public. She immediately changed her name and changed it to Home. When he came back to his senses and saw the woman standing in front of him with a trace of anger on her face, Lin Ray frowned but didn't pay it any mind. "Miss, may I know if your father, Lu Yuan, is here?" He didn't answer the woman's question and directly asked about Lu Yuan's location. "My father?" The woman frowned when she saw the person before her. Lu Yuan was a name that no one in the entire Tianyuan city dared to know. Moreover, Lin Ray was an unfamiliar face. At this moment, the woman took 2 steps back vigilantly. "Who are you? Why are you looking for my father?" Others might not know, but she knew very well that her father had a lot of enemies. Although the person before her looked very young, she couldn't guarantee that he wasn't her father's enemy. Please don't misunderstand. Seeing how vigilant she was, and recalling what Gong Jun said earlier, Lin Ray knew that she had misunderstood him. "I am Lin Ray. Although I don't consider myself to be a good person, I'm definitely not a bad person either. Furthermore, the reason why I'm looking for your father is because I'm here to treat your illness." Treat my illness? The woman was startled when she heard those words. She had a puzzled expression on her face. "That's right. I'm a member of the Talisman Sect. I saw the mission your father issued and came here to investigate." As he spoke, he took out the Talisman Sect's disciple competition for her to examine. "Are you really a disciple of the Talisman Sect?" As she spoke, she took the token and looked at the information on it. For a moment, her vigilant expression lessened. "Yes. So, your father, Lu Yuan, where is he right now?" Lily asked once more. He's inside." When the woman saw the serious expression on Lin Ray's face, she quickly returned the token to Lin Ray. Then, she made an inviting gesture and said to Lin Ray, "All right, I'll have to trouble you then." After he spoke, Lin Ray didn't say anything else. You're welcome." After she spoke, she turned around and led Lin Ray to her house. She pushed open the door and led Lin Ray into the house. Although it looked small from the outside, there was indeed a whole new world inside. The moment they stepped into the house, a space appeared in front of Lin Ray. When Lin Ray saw the space that was opened up, he was shocked. TSK. How generous. I was wondering why a supreme god cultivator would live in a mud house. As he thought about it, he didn't say anything else. Suddenly, the woman who was leading the way stopped and turned around to remind Lin Ray. Young Master Lin, you must be careful when you see my father later. Why? He didn't understand what the woman meant. My father often blames himself and loses his temper because of what happened to me. I'm afraid it will affect you, so... As she spoke, the woman looked guilty. Oh, all right. I'll try my best to listen to your kind advice. All right, let's go. Seeing that Lin Ray had agreed, the woman smiled. Then, they continued walking. To be honest, the space was quite big. However, compared to the secret land of the Xuanzong Sect, it was just a drop in the ocean. After a few minutes, the woman led Lin Ray to a room and stopped outside. Father, the people from the Talisman Sect are here to see you. I won't see them. Ask them to leave. Before the woman could finish her sentence, a violent and anxious voice came from the room. When Lin Ray heard that, he frowned. However, when he saw the woman in front of him, his frown disappeared. With an amused smile, he looked around the room and said, All right, since Divine Lord Lu has said so, then I won't waste my energy to save a dying man. If that's the case, then I'll take my leave. Chapter 873. Boom! As soon as Linley finished speaking, a terrifying aura exploded forth. The tightly shut doors suddenly opened, and a black figure charged out, arriving in front of Linley. Reaching out, the figure grabbed Linley by the shoulders, a look of excitement on his face as he shook Linley while asking, What? You said you can cure Xiao Shui's illness? Looking at the clean-cut, middle-aged man in front of him, Lin Ray was taken aback. He quickly recovered and said, Hey, that's right. I did have a way to cure your daughter, but what? Seeing the hesitation of the person in front of him, Lu Yuan frowned. Oh, it's nothing. Looking at him, Linley said with an indifferent look on his face, Just now, I did have a way, but when I heard a certain someone shamelessly tell me to F***CK off, I felt very unhappy. So, I don't have a way. I can't remember. Hearing those words, Lu Yuan's mouth twitched and his face turned ugly. He didn't expect the person in front of him to be so vengeful. For a moment, Lu Yuan was filled with regret. He didn't expect that because of his recklessness, he would offend a young person. At this moment, Lu Yuan noticed that the person in front of him was very young. Because he was worried about his daughter's illness, he didn't take a closer look. Now that he saw him, Lu Yuan began to doubt him. Should I believe him? He's so young. Can he really cure Xiao Shui's illness? The more Lu Yuan thought about it, the more he couldn't believe the strength of the person in front of him. Forget it. I was going to make a move, but since you told me to scram, and now you're doubting me, forget it. Seeing the bewilderment in Lu Yuan's eyes, Linley shook his head regretfully. Without hesitating any longer, he walked out. Seeing Lin Ray's departing figure, Lu Yuan froze on the spot and didn't chase after him. However, the woman who received Lin Ray didn't act like her father. Even though she didn't know if the person in front of her could cure her, she couldn't treat him that way. She ignored the weakness in her body and quickly chased after him. Sir, wait. Linley, who wasn't moving very fast, heard the hurried sound behind him. He stopped in his tracks and turned around. What he saw was a weak girl running nonstop. You whoosh. Looking at the woman's pale face, Lin Ray was shocked. His figure flashed and instantly appeared in front of the woman. He sternly stopped her. Nonsense. Don't you know the condition of your body? What you're doing will only increase the speed at which your life force is draining away. Don't tell me you don't want to live anymore. Hearing Lin Ray's stern voice, the girl called Xiao Shui stood there with a wronged expression. Inexplicably, her eyes became wet and she looked like she was about to cry. This scene stunned Lin Ray. What the F***CK? What kind of operation was this? I didn't seem to have shouted that loudly just now. Even though that was what he thought, Lin Ray was someone who didn't want to see a woman cry. He immediately opened his mouth and said in a weak voice, Okay, I didn't mean to yell at you. I am fine. I am just blinded by the wind. It's all right. Sensing the apologetic tone in Lin Ray's words, the woman hurriedly shook her head. Are you sure it was the wind that blinded you? Hearing Xiao Shue's words, Lin Ray stared blankly and looked around. What kind of King wind was this? In this secret realm, let alone wind, even rain couldn't enter. You. Calling Lin Ray like this caused Xiao Shue's face to turn red. She stomped her feet and wanted to leave, but thinking of her father's powerlessness, she immediately bowed and said, I'm sorry. I apologize on behalf of my father's powerlessness. Seeing Xiao Shui bow and apologize, Lin Ray stared blankly. He raised his head and looked at Lu Yuan, who was still standing there, and coldly snorted. I forgave that old fellow because of you. Remember, it's because of you. In truth, Lin Ray didn't really plan on not treating Xiao Shui. He was just putting on an act so that when he returned, he could investigate her illness and see what it was. Thank you. Thank you. Seeing Lin Ray forgive her father, Xiao Shui smiled and took a step back. She extended her hand and made an inviting gesture, saying, Please. Okay. Nodding, he walked back to where he was before. At this moment, seeing Lin Ray return, Lu Yuan still had some doubts in his heart, but he didn't dare to act like before. This, fellow Taoist, since you said you have a way to treat my daughter, I wonder if... Father. At this moment, hearing her father's words, Xiao Shui hurriedly interrupted. Father, are you not going to invite this gentleman in? Are you going to stay here? Hearing this, Lu Yuan couldn't help but glare at his daughter. Then, without feeling awkward, he smiled faintly and said, I was negligent. Please, okay. That more like it. You. Hearing Lin Ray's words, Lu Yuan was slightly angered. He wanted to flare up, but there was nothing he could do. After all, there was a glimmer of hope to cure his daughter. Although he didn't know if it could really be done, it was better than nothing. Entering the room, Lin Li didn't pay any attention to Lu Yuan. Instead, he sat down and closed his eyes. Although he forgave Lu Yuan because of Xiao Shui, Lin Ray didn't say that he wouldn't make things difficult for him. After all, the two of them were at the same level, and Lu Yuan might not be able to defeat him. Lu Yuan, who had followed Lin Ray in, saw Lin Ray's state. Although he was furious, he had no choice but to suppress it. He sat down in the main seat and didn't wake Lin Ray. Instead, he waited quietly for Lin Ray to wake up. Lin Ray didn't speak, and Lu Yuan didn't make a sound either. The entire room fell into a deathly silence. Neither of them said anything. They just waited. While the two of them were silent, Xiao Shui, who had left, returned. However, just as she stepped through the door, she paused. She, who was rational, sensed the stifling atmosphere. Sigh. These two people are really... He sighed. Then, she stepped into the living room. Sir, this is Xiao Shui's self-sufficient hollow tea and freshly made osmanthus cake. It's a little crude, so please don't take offense. TSK, that's right. My daughter's things are a bit crude. How can they possibly enter fellow Taoist's mouth? Seeing how his daughter treated the person in front of him, he only heard a clang as a jar of vinegar was knocked over. At this time, Lin Ray opened his eyes. He ignored Lu Yuan and turned to look at the plate in Xiao Shui's hand. It's fine. I'm not a person who will make do. As he said that, he picked up a piece of osmanthus cake the size of a mahjong tile and took a small bite. When the cake entered his mouth, the fragrance of osmanthus instantly engulfed Lin Ray's mouth. Moreover, this osmanthus cake was glutinous but not sticky. It was sweet but not greasy. It even left a fragrance in his mouth. It could be said to be one of the best cakes. I didn't expect Miss Xiao Shui's cooking to be so good. Whoever marries you in the future will be lucky. As he said that, he picked up the teacup and took a sip. It's so sweet and delicious. The fragrance is pleasant. The tea has a trace of the fragrance of plants. Looking at the tea in the cup, Lin Ray felt that the tea he had drunk before was like trash compared to this cup of tea. This tea is called hollow tea. It was accidentally cultivated by Xiao Shui. There isn't a lot. If you like it, I'll bring some for you in a while. That's great. That's great. Moreover, even if Xiao Shui didn't say it, Lin Rei would probably say it. After all, this tea was very different from what he had drunk before. How shameless. You haven't even started working yet, and you want to eat and drink. Now you want to take it away. You're really something. At this time, Lu Yuan's sarcastic voice entered Lin Rei's ears. For a moment, Lin Rei paused and turned his head to look. So what if you have some food? Moreover, did I say I wouldn't pay? As he said that, with a thought, a blue light appeared in Lin Rei's hand. Here, take this as a greeting gift from Miss Xiao Shui. I hope you don't dislike it. As he said that, without waiting for Xiao Shui's response, Lin Rei directly stuffed the name in his hand into Xiao Shui's hand. Then, looking at the osmanthus cake in front of him, Lin Rei no longer held back and began to eat heartily. As for Lin Rei, who had already eaten, he didn't notice Lu Yuan and Xiao Shui's expressions at all. Damn, a supreme-grade divine artifact? What the heck? Am I seeing things? A cry of surprise came from the side. This! Xiao Shui lowered her head to look at the blue whip that had appeared in her hand. For a moment, she was a little dazed. Who is this person? Why is he using a supreme-grade divine artifact right off the bat? At this time, Lu Yuan, who had recovered from a shock, looked at Lin Rei. At this moment, he had no choice but to re-evaluate the person in front of him. To be able to take out a supreme-grade divine artifact right off the bat. Even he didn't have the courage to run away, but the person in front of him had done it. However, Lu Yuan thought for a long time and thought of all the aristocratic families and sects in the Ninth State, but he couldn't find anyone like this. Father, this. After coming back to her senses and knowing the grade of the item in her hand, Xiao Shui looked at her father awkwardly. She wanted to ask for his opinion. As Lu Yuan's daughter, Lin Rei knew very well that Xiao Shui was not only a cultivator, but her cultivation was also very high. She was almost at the early stage of the divine monarch realm. However, her aura was a little weak. From this, it could be seen that Xiao Shui had only broken through recently. Understanding the meaning of his father's gaze, Lu Yuan was stunned. He turned around and said in a low voice, "Fellow Taoist, this item is too precious. My daughter, what were you talking about? I'm not giving it to you. Besides, Lin Rei have given it away. How can I take it back?" Before Lu Yuan could finish, Lin Rei interrupted him. However, Lin Rei's mouth was stuffed with osmanthus cake, so his words were still a little unclear. But for better or for worse, the father and daughter of the Lu clan were both high-level cultivators. They could hear him very clearly. PFFF, seeing Lin Rei's current appearance, Lu Yuan's eyes twitched even more fiercely. Xiao Shui couldn't help but burst out laughing. However, the moment she burst out laughing, she felt that she was acting strange and quickly stopped. But no buts. I've already given it away. I want to take it back. If you don't want it, then throw it away. It's just a weapon anyway. It's not worth much. Lin Rei waved his hand indifferently. What? Throw it away? It's not worth much? Lu Yuan could be said to be extremely shocked today. This was the first time he had heard that a supreme-grade divine weapon was worthless. Ignoring Lu Yuan's shocked expression, he clapped his hands. The plate of osmanthus cake in front of him was already empty. Okay, just take it. To be honest, this thing is useless to me. I use a spear. Of course, if you really don't want it, then I know. I want it. Xiao Shui replied. She tightly grasped the blue whip in her hand, as if she was afraid it would be snatched away. Yeah, that's right. Seeing Xiao Shui like this, Lin Rei chuckled. Then he pointed to the side and said in a low voice, "Sit down. I'll take a look at you and see why you're sick." Okay. At this moment, Xiao Shui's expression was very serious. This illness had been bothering her for a long time. Now that there were finally signs of a cure, how could Xiao Shui not be serious? Not only her, but even Lu Yuan was the same. His original emotions were completely gone at this moment. The only thing left was nervousness. Looking at Xiao Shui, Lin Rei gave her a reassuring smile. Then he stretched out his hand and placed it on Xiao Shui's back with a trace of spirit energy. Little Snow let out a soft moan, and a blush crept up his cheeks. Feeling the warm hand on his back, Little Snow felt a strange feeling spread throughout his body. However, Lin Rei was completely unaware of Xiao Shui's current situation. When he placed his hand on Xiao Shui's back, Lin Rei's mind moved to communicate with the system. System, check what Xiao Shui's illness is. Ding. Okay, Master, please wait a moment. When he heard the system's voice, inexplicably, Lin Rei's heart calmed down a lot. At this moment, Lu Yuan saw that Lin Rei was motionless and anxiously asked, "How is it? How is my daughter?" Sigh. Seeing that Lin Rei did not respond, Lu Yuan tactfully retreated to the side and did not disturb him. Ding. Investigation complete. Do you want to accept Xiao Shui's illness information? Accept. Ding. Transmitting. Host, please wait a moment. Ding. Acceptance complete. Does the host want to investigate? Investigate. Ding. It has been formed. Host, read it yourself. After saying that, a screen appeared and a paragraph of words appeared on the screen. Eternal Night Curse, one of the inherited curses of the witch race. It belongs to the category of middle-grade curses. Those who are cursed will lose their vitality over time until they die. Reading up to this point, Linley began to frown. But when he read the next line, Linley was completely enraged. Even though the Eternal Night incantation is only a middle-rank incantation, it is classified as a middle-rank incantation because it doesn't have powerful attack power. However, there is one thing that even high-rank incantations cannot compare to, and that is if the person affected by the incantation doesn't come into contact with the incantation, then their descendants will continue to pass down the Eternal Night incantation until someone comes into contact with the incantation. Look, this is too damn ruthless. Chapter 874. Lin Rei couldn't help but roar in excitement. Perhaps it was because he saw how vicious the Eternal Night Curse was. At the side, Lu Yuan heard everything very clearly. Hearing this, Lu Yuan, who originally had a serious expression, turned extremely gloomy. Anyone with decent comprehension should be able to understand something. Since Lin Rei said so, it meant that his daughter, Lu Yuan, didn't dare to think about it. He didn't dare to think about it. Before he knew the result, he couldn't think too much. At this moment, Lin Rei withdrew his hand from Xiao Shui's back after checking on her condition. His face was gloomy. He didn't know how to tell Lu Yuan and Xiao Shui about this. After all, this matter was too cruel for the two of them. Little Dragon, is there a way to get rid of the Eternal Night Curse? I know you know a lot. Think of a way. I don't want a little girl who can make pastries to die just like that. Moreover, he looked at Lu Yuan. Moreover, Lu Yuan's talent is not bad. He can cultivate to the peak of the late stage of Ultimate God at such a young age. I believe that as long as I help him break through to the Holy Realm, then he will be a great help to me in the Holy Realm. Damn, you brat. Little Dragon really wanted to give Lin Rei a big slap when he heard what he said. Is he King God? But no, Linley's words weren't wrong. Having such a talented friend was a good thing for him. Little Dragon said, "The Eternal Night Curse is a mid-level curse of the Sorcerer tribe. Once this curse is formed, it's a little difficult to get rid of it, but what? Hurry up and tell me." Lin Rei knew something was up when he heard Little Dragon's words. TSK, look at you. Little Dragon didn't delay when he saw Lin Rei's anxious face. It's not impossible to get rid of this curse. Aya, hurry up and tell me. Why are you dawdling? You? When Lin Rei said that, the little dragon rolled its eyes and said snappily, "Have you forgotten about the illusory spirit blood fire in your body? The illusory spirit blood fire is the nemesis of all evil and Een. Isn't this curse of eternal night officially classified as Een evil?" Yeah. Hearing the little dragon's reminder, Lin Rei was suddenly enlightened. He slapped his forehead. Why didn't I think of that? I'll be right back. Wait. What's wrong? Seeing that the little dragon had stopped him, Lin Rei asked in confusion. Damn, you brat. Have you forgotten everything I taught you before? Looking at Lin Rei, The little dragon impolitely reprimanded. Xiefeng's evil spirit is a high-level existence. With your current level, do you think you can get rid of it? Lin Rei was stunned. Yeah, with my current level, do you think I can get rid of it? Moreover, Xiao Shue's body has been engulfed by the curse of eternal night for a long time. If it's all removed suddenly, then can her body bear it? At this moment, a series of questions appeared. He couldn't help but think that his previous actions were so ignorant and laughable. I've been cultivating for so many years. I didn't think I would make such a mistake in such a small matter. I really deserve a beating. Enough. Sensing that Lin Rei knew he was wrong, the little dragon's tone softened. This matter is actually easy to solve. Looking at Lin Rei, the little dragon smiled and continued. As long as your Dan stage breaks through to Master Dan grade level 6, you might be able to help Xiao Shui completely get rid of the curse of eternal night in her body. What? Hearing this solution, Lin Li was shocked. 6th level of the Saint level? When the hell would he be able to reach it? He had just broken through to the 1st rank of the Saint level. How the hell was it possible to reach the 6th rank in such a short period of time? What? You don't want to save Xiao Shui? Seeing how shocked Lin Rei was, the little dragon teased. You have to think carefully. Xiao Shue's pastries are delicious, and she has a good personality. Plus, her father is in the late stage of Ultimate God Realm. What do you think, F***CK? Hearing how the little dragon was tempting him, Lin Rei couldn't help but be tempted. To be honest, Xiao Shue's pastries were delicious, and the tea she brewed was excellent. More importantly, if he could use this matter to help his Dan stage break through to Master Dan grade level 6, then it might not be a bad thing. As the saying goes, with pressure comes motivation. Maybe he could really achieve it through this matter. That's right. Sensing Lin Rei's thoughts, the little dragon smiled. Since you've decided, then let's do it. However, before you break through to level 6 Saint grade, you have to give Xiao Shui a mysterious life pill every day to ensure that she won't die before you break through. What? Mysterious life pill? Lin Rei remembered the mysterious life pill. It was an elixir he created himself. Although it was only a divine grade level 1 elixir, if she were to take it every day, then the amount of materials needed to refine it was not a small amount. What's wrong? You're not willing to use your materials? Knowing why Lin Rei was distressed, the little dragon didn't want to say anything more to Lin Rei, the miser. No, it's just, all right, it's settled then. All right, you can accept this mission. The little dragon didn't give Lin Rei time to speak and ordered. Ding. Mission. Rescue Lu Yuan's daughter. No time limit. Reward. A complete map of the Heavenly Court's treasury. Will the host accept? Ding. Breakthrough to level 6 Saint grade dance stage. No time limit. Reward. A complete copy of Homing's pill scripture. Will the host accept? Ding. Reminder. There are still 36 years left to subdue the Talisman Grandmaster. Please hurry, or else. Lin Rei was speechless. Listening to the mission, Lin Rei nodded helplessly. Yes, I'll accept all of them. Ding. The host is accepted. You still have to work hard. Sigh. Seeing the system's voice disappear, Lin Rei couldn't help but let out a long sigh to calm his heart that was about to collapse. All right, I'm going to sleep. You can deal with it yourself. Go. After cutting off the communication with the little dragon, he came back to his senses. In the outside world, Lu Yuan and Little Snow watched as Lin Li withdrew his probing hand. His face alternated between surprise and frown. Lu Yuan and Little Snow felt their hearts sink. However, they didn't disturb Lin Rei. After all, the diagnosis wasn't out yet. What if there were still variables? Sigh. He came back to his senses and sighed. Then he opened his eyes and saw Lu Yuan's face that was full of vicissitudes. F***CK, what are you doing? Seeing Lu Yuan's face so close to the moment he opened his eyes, Lin Rei subconsciously took a step back. What are you doing? Lu Yuan's face darkened when he saw Lin Rei's reaction. He was displeased. What do you think I'm doing? Looking at Lu Yuan, Lin Rei couldn't help but have a headache. I saw your face the moment I opened my eyes. If it were anyone else, they would have been scared to death. With that, he ignored Lu Yuan and turned to Xiao Shui with a smile. Xiao Shui, let me tell you a piece of bad news. Go ahead. At this moment, Xiao Shui seemed to have lost all hope and nodded indifferently. Seeing Xiao Shui's reaction, Lin Rei was stunned. Then he said, the bad news is that your illness, it can't be all ice. At most, it's a curse. However, this curse is too powerful. If you don't come into contact with it in this life, it will follow you into the next life. More importantly, if you don't come into contact with it, then your sons and their sons will suffer the same fate as you because of the legacy of the curse. They will be tortured until they die. This cycle will never end. What? Hearing Lin Rei's words, Lu Yuan and Xiao Shui were shocked. All this time, they had thought that it was an illness, but now it was confirmed that it was a curse. Moreover, the curse was so vicious. At this moment, their faces couldn't help but turn ghastly pale to the extreme. If it was really as Lin Li said, then wouldn't their Lu clan be annihilated? Haha. Seeing how shocked the two of them were, Lin Li couldn't help but chuckle. However, I have some good news for you. Sigh. It's already like this. What good news can there be? Xiao Shui ignored Lin Rei. At this moment, she only wanted to find a place to calm down and think about what to do next. Xiao Shui's attitude was so negative that Lin Rei was stunned. Then, he said, actually, you don't have to be like this. I only said that the bad news is a curse. I didn't say that I don't know how to cure this curse. What? Lin Rei said. Lu Yuan and Xiao Shui were stunned. They turned their heads and were puzzled. That's right. I said that I can treat her. It's just that the treatment period is a little long. Furthermore, it's true that I can't treat her now. If I can raise my dance stage to 6th grade martial saint, then I will have a 100% chance of curing your daughter, Xiao Shui. However, before that, your daughter must take mysterious life pills and primary yang pills every day to replenish her lost lifespan and the foundation of her body. 6th grade, Saint Realm? Lu Yuan was excited. However, he only knew that the dance stage was from mortal grade to revered grade. Moreover, it had been a long time since a revered grade Saint Realm appeared in the divinity world. Sigh. This is troublesome. Seeing the confusion on Lu Yuan and Xiao Shui's faces, Lin Rei began to explain. The dance stage is similar to cultivation. Starting from mortal grade, it is yellow grade, profound grade, earth grade, sky grade, king grade, emperor grade, god grade, revered grade. However, above revered grade is saint grade. After divine grade, the dance stage cannot be judged by initial grade, intermediate grade, advanced grade, or complete grade. After divine grade, it is calculated according to grade. There are 10 grades in each grade. After that, he looked at their confused faces. Now, do you understand? Yes, Xiao Shui replied. But sir, it has been a long time since a revered grade pill master appeared in the divinity world. Even divine grade pill masters are few and far between. Lin Rei understood what Xiao Shui was trying to say. He did not hide anything from her. They can only blame themselves for not being able to break through. I am now a saint grade pill master. But if I want to break through to level 6 saint grade pill master, the road ahead is still tough. Hearing that Lin Rei was already a saint grade pill master, Lu Yuan and Xiao Shui took in a deep breath. But before I break through to level 6 saint grade pill master, you have to be with me every day. This, Xiao Shui, who was still in shock, blushed upon hearing Lin Rei's words. She was put in a spot. Please don't misunderstand. The road ahead to level 6 Saint Grade Pill Master is extremely difficult. Furthermore, the Eternal Night Curse is consuming your life force daily. You have to consume the Xianming Pill and Yuanyang Pill that I give you every day to replenish your life force. That way, when I break through to level 6 Saint Grade Pill Master and remove the Eternal Night Curse for you, you will not be devoured by the Eternal Night Curse. Oh, so that's how it is. Originally, he had been inexplicably excited, But upon hearing Linley's explanation, that excitement disappeared, replaced by disappointment. Plop! Suddenly, Lu Yuan knelt down in front of Lin Rei with a face full of gratitude. Fellow Taoist, thank you for your help. Even though I promised to give you half of my assets, it's nothing to you now. Please tell me, what do you want? All right. Hurry up and get up. I'm not used to you acting like this all of a sudden. A gentle energy appeared beneath Lu Yuan's knees and pulled him up. Shh. This energy, could it be that you're? As someone who was on the same level as Linley, how could he not be able to sense how powerful the power Linley was releasing was? That's right. I'm a mid-ultimate god cultivator. So, don't treat yourself as an elder in the future. Otherwise, I'll suppress you anytime. Do you believe? Lin Rei was not lying. Although he did not know Lu Yuan's true strength, Lin Rei did not believe Lu Yuan could defeat a Dao Fruit Saint who was at a higher level than him. I didn't realize that you're a divine venerable like me, but... I'm sorry. I didn't realize you were a divine venerable like me, but... Speaking up to this point, Lu Yuan looked at Linley with a strange expression on his face. However, since you are a godly venerable, why do you have the core disciple token of the Talisman Sect? Moreover, with your saint-grade pill refining skills, why would you willingly become a disciple of the Talisman Sect? Upon hearing that, Xiao Shui turned her head and looked at Lin Rei in confusion. She was very curious as well. After all, the young man in front of her was at the same level as her father. You don't have to worry about that. I have my own plans. However, I can only stay here for a while. After that, you must follow me back to the Talisman clan. Once everything is settled, I'll live in seclusion and comprehend the sage state. All right. They didn't hesitate or question him at all. For some reason, in this moment, the two of them had complete trust in Linley. However, Lu Yuan was put in a difficult position. Although I'm not interested in Tianyuan City, I'm the one who built this place. Don't worry, Lin Rei smiled as he looked at Lu Yuan. I'll get someone to accept this place after you leave. How's your strength? If you're not strong enough, I'm afraid I won't be able to suppress those clans and forces in Tianyuan City, Lu Yuan said worriedly. Don't worry about that. The people I sent are enough to beat you up. Chapter 875. Lu Yuan expressed his helplessness at Lin Rei's words. Moreover, he didn't take it to heart. After all, if what Lin Rei said was true, that person's cultivation was at least in the late stage of the ultimate god realm. He might even be in the peak ultimate god realm. Such cultivators could be counted with 2 hands in the 9th state. He didn't think Lin Rei could order them around. Although he was shocked by Lin Rei's ultimate god realm cultivation, he didn't believe Lin Rei's words. It wasn't just Lu Yuan. Even Xiao Shui felt the same way. She didn't believe Lin Rei could order someone of that level. Looking at their doubtful faces, Lin Rei didn't bother to explain further. It wasn't necessary, and he couldn't be bothered to anyway. All right, go tidy up a room for me. I'll refine the profound life pill and primary yang pill for you. All right, I'll go now. Xiao Shui didn't hesitate and got up to leave. Of course, you have to report to me, Lin Rei said with a smile as he looked at Xiao Shui's back. What? What do you want in return? As long as you tell me. That's right, fellow Taoist. What do you want in return? As long as it's within my means, I won't be stingy. Tell me. Lin Rei chuckled when he saw how nervous the two were. What's wrong? I just want Miss Xiao Shui to make me something delicious every day. As for that hollow tea, if you have it, it's best if you brew it every day. I don't know, this condition. All right, sir, wait here. I'll tidy up the room and make you something delicious. Just wait here. Xiao Shui didn't expect Lin Rei to make such a request. She didn't expect Lin Rei to make such a cheap request. Phew. She let out a long breath and smiled. Thank you. If it wasn't for you, I'm afraid my daughter's life is in danger, Lu Yuan said as he watched Little Snow leave. Lin Rei was not used to Lu Yuan's sudden behavior. You don't have to thank me. I only agreed to help because of Miss Xiao Shui's skills. Don't misunderstand. Lu Yuan didn't know how to save face at all. Lu Yuan seemed to be used to this. He didn't refute this sentence and smiled slightly before sitting down. The scene fell silent once more. No one spoke and no one communicated. Linley didn't waste any time. With a thought, he entered the system. Sigh. I suddenly need the mysterious life pill and the Yuan Yang pill. These two pill formulas were created when I was bored and wanted to advance to the dance stage. I didn't expect that I would need them now, but as he thought about these two types of pills, Linley had completely forgotten what ingredients they required. What's more, he wasn't certain that he would have them. After all, he was currently either refining exalted or saint-grade pills. He basically didn't refine divine-grade pills anymore. Thus, it was normal for him to be lacking in ingredients. They arrived at a room which Linley had specially set up to study pill formulas. Here, one bookshelf after another appeared, upon which were placed all sorts of jade slips of various colors. Looking at these jade slips, Lin Ray's face was full of emotions. These were all the proof of his journey. Everything. If it wasn't for these pill formulas, he wouldn't have the chance to become a venerable god and reach the saint-grade dance stage. Walking slowly to the bookshelves, he was worried. Damn, where did I put them? There are at least 80,000, if not 100,000. How am I going to find them? Looking at the bookshelves in front of him, Lin Ray's heart was full of hatred. If he knew this day would come, he would have just divided the pill formulas into different grades. Now, he wouldn't have to search them one by one. Thinking about it, he instantly spread out his divine sense and enveloped all the bookshelves in the space. He began to search them one by one. Water cloud pill. Heh, this pill formula is still here. It's rare. Heaven spirit pill, earth spirit pill, Gun pill, amber pill, body tempering pill, Huangji pill. At this moment, the names of pills that Lin Ray's memory were a little fuzzy, but familiar appeared one by one. However, after so many years, he still didn't find the two pills he wanted. Time slowly passed. Lin Ray's search was fruitless, and his mood became irritable. Little dragon, come out. Where are the two pill formulas? In the end, he had no choice but to seek help from the little dragon. After all, the little dragon was in charge of this place. If even he knew about it, then these two medicinal pills might really disappear and be lost. What do you want me to say? Didn't I say it before? I'm going into hibernation. What are you doing, huh? Do you know that it's easy for me to get dark circles? Lin Ray, hearing the little dragon's words at this moment, Lin Ray had the urge to step forward and give him a kick. What the hell are you talking about? Big brother, you're a spirit, okay? Of course, Lin Ray couldn't say this out loud. He just kept it to himself. Well, I remember that the mysterious life pill and Yuan Yang pill formulas are here, right? Why is he gone? Don't you know how to make these two pills? Didn't you create them? Looking at Lin Ray, the little dragon couldn't believe it. These words entered Lin Ray's ears. For a moment, Lin Ray was embarrassed. Yes, those two pills were created by me. But you also know that I haven't refined those two pills for a long time. And with that, Lin Ray couldn't help but pat his chest and said, and with my physique, do I still need those pills to nourish me? That's great. Seeing that Lin Ray could still shamelessly praise himself, the little dragon fiercely slapped his forehead and felt helpless. To be able to forget the pills that you created, you're really one of a kind. Okay. Seeing that the little dragon wasn't finished, Lin Ray growled, do you know or not? I know. Of course I know. And where is it? Seeing that the little dragon really knew, Lin Ray's face lit up for a moment. Sure enough, he asked the right person. In the storage basket. Didn't I tell you before? Didn't I put the things in the storage basket for you? Why don't you listen to me? You said that? With doubts, Lin Ray looked at the little dragon and asked doubtfully. As he spoke, his mind couldn't help but recall every word that the little dragon said before. However, Lin Ray really didn't hear that sentence before. After receiving confirmation, Lin Ray came back to his senses and wanted to find the little dragon to explain, but at this moment, there was nothing in front of Lin Ray, and there was no figure of the little dragon. Connecting the situation, Lin Ray was speechless. Forget it. I'll look for you when I'm done refining the pills. Lin Ray, who didn't want to waste time, withdrew from the system space and returned to his body. With a thought, he took out the 2 pill formulas that were lying quietly in the system storage basket. Phew! Opening his closed eyes and looking down at the 2 pill formulas, Lin Ray revealed a smile. I didn't expect that the pills created by this sovereign could be used. Saying that, Lin Ray impatiently placed the jade slip on his forehead. Suddenly, a terrifying amount of information drilled into Lin Ray's mind. Mysterious life pill, as the name suggests, seizes life from life. It's refined from the mysterious cloud fruit, soul spirit grass, treasure return fruit, celestial spirit root, and 106 other ingredients. One mysterious life pill can restore one's lifespan by 100 years. Most importantly, this pill doesn't have the side effect of thinking. It can reach the 3rd level of divine grade. Primary Yang pill, a type of pill that can restore a cultivator's lost vitality. It's refined from the jiang fruit, rootless water, dragon flame grass, ice soul fruit, soul origin grass, and 79 other ingredients. This pill doesn't have any side effects. It can reach the 2nd level of divine grade. Damn! Unconsciously, perhaps because of the materials required to refine these 2 pills, Lin Ray couldn't help but curse. What's wrong? At the side, Lu Yuan, who was sitting in the main seat, heard Lin Ray's words and immediately opened his eyes with concern. Hearing Lu Yuan's concern, Lin Ray came back to his senses and said, It's nothing, but what? Seeing the awkward look on Lin Li's face, Lu Yuan hurriedly asked. Sigh. Looking up at Lu Yuan, he said with difficulty, The 2 pills I'm refining are the 3rd level of divine grade. However, I don't have the materials to refine them. You don't have them? Hearing this, Lu Yuan frowned. He didn't expect this situation. He didn't expect that an alchemist wouldn't have the materials to refine pills. Seeing Lu Yuan's frown, Lin Ray quickly explained, The pills I'm refining now are the venerable grade. I haven't refined the 3rd level of divine grade for a long time, so I don't have the materials. Is that so? Hearing this, Lu Yuan fell silent. His expression changed as if he was thinking of a solution. At this time, Lin Ray didn't disturb him. After all, he wasn't familiar with this place, so Lin Ray knew his place and chose to remain silent. What's wrong? Just as the 2 chose to remain silent, Xiao Shui's soft voice came from the door. Looking up, when he saw Xiao Shui's frail and thin figure, Lin Ray's heart inexplicably tightened. He immediately said, It's nothing, it's just... I suddenly wanted to walk around the city and see if there's an auction or something like that. That's right. Why didn't I think of that? Suddenly, Lu Yuan was shocked and slapped his thigh in surprise. Seeing Lu Yuan smiling like a child, Lin Ray was stunned. Ignoring him, he continued to look at Xiao Shui and said, Xiao Shui, I wonder if you'd like to accompany me to take a look? I haven't seen much of Heavenly Cloud City since I came. I wonder if I have the honor of inviting you? PFFF, seeing the look on Lin Li's face, Little Snow seemed to have forgotten Lin Li's exalted status as a divine exalt, and he began to laugh. If it weren't for the things in her hands, she probably would have put her hands on her hips and laughed. Let's go now. Seeing his sickly and emaciated daughter, Lu Yuan couldn't help but stand up and urge Lin Li to hurry her up. Sigh. Seeing how frantic Lu Yuan was, to tell the truth, Lin Li felt both envy and jealousy. If he had spent more time with his wife and children in the past, perhaps that incident wouldn't have happened. Thinking of this, a hint of sadness and sorrow flashed through his eyes. He got up and said, Let's go and see how Heavenly Cloud City is doing, and also see what the businesses here are like. With that, he took a step forward and appeared in front of Xiao Shui. He reached out and took the pastries Xiao Shui had made, then quietly ate one. Let's go. Put the things down and let's go see the auction. He didn't forget to stuff things into his mouth. At this moment, Lin Ray had completely fallen in love with Xiao Shui's pastries. Nodding her head, Little Snow placed the plate in her hand on the table beside her, and a happy smile appeared on her face. Ever since she fell ill, other than sitting in front of her own house, she hadn't gone anywhere else, so she was also filled with anticipation towards the trading company. This, Xiao Shui, she. At this moment, seeing that his daughter was also going, he looked at Lin Rei with an awkward expression. Don't worry, with me here, she'll be fine. Knowing what Lu Yuan wanted to say, Lin Rei gave him a reassuring smile, then carried the pastries out the door. Father, Linley left, but little Snow didn't. Instead, she looked at her father, Lu Yuan, a pleading look in her eyes. Let's go. Since Lin Rei said so, let's give it a try. But, Lu Yuan said nervously, if you find anything wrong with yourself, tell me immediately. Do you hear me? I hear you, father. Seeing his father like this, little Snow's heart warmed. He no longer paid any attention to his father. Like a little girl, he ran after Linley. A grown girl can't be kept at home. We've only known each other for a short time, but she doesn't even want to follow me. Lu Yuan complained as he watched his daughter leave. Although he was complaining, there was no trace of complaint on his face. On the contrary, there was only kindness and concern. At this moment, on a bustling street in the southern district of Heavenly Cloud City, Lin Rei and the other two had just left the city lord's mansion. As for Xiao Shui, she was like a child who had never seen the world. She looked left and right, and, as long as she saw something new, she would take a look. Lin Rei and Lu Yuan were helpless in this regard, but they didn't stop her. Instead, they tirelessly followed her. How much longer? At this moment, Linley suddenly spoke out. It's just up ahead. That's Heavenly Cloud City's largest trading company. It's also the one that connects the entire 9th province. Hearing Lin Rei's question, Lu Yuan raised his head and pointed at a tall building. Oh, that's it. Seeing where Lu Yuan was pointing, Lin Rei took a step forward and grabbed Xiao Shui's hand. Let's go. I'll take you to see something even better. You can have anything you want. There's nothing you can't imagine. Really? Xiao Shui, who had been happily twirling around, heard Lin Rei's words, and little stars appeared in her eyes. Let's go. Pulling Xiao Shui along, the three of them quickly arrived at the entrance of Heavenly Cloud City's largest trading company. When they arrived at the entrance, they looked up and saw a golden plaque with the words 9 Clouds Trading Company written on it. Chapter 876. 9 Clouds Trading Company. Looking at the words, a smile bloomed on Lin Rei's face. 9 Clouds, what's wrong? Is there something wrong with this place, mister? Seeing Lin Rei's reaction, Xiao Shui asked doubtfully. Yes, what's wrong with this place? If there is, then we... At this time, Lu Yuan also opened his mouth to agree. No, nothing. I just feel that this name is a little interesting. Let's go. With that, Lin Rei stepped into the 9 Clouds Trading Company. Although it was nothing, Lin Rei couldn't help but think of the 9 Heavens Trading Company that he had founded. However, it was just a thought, and he didn't immerse himself in that memory. Seeing Lin Rei leave, Lu Yuan hurriedly followed. At this moment, Lu Yuan unconsciously followed behind Lin Rei and didn't walk side by side with him. Of course, although Lin Rei noticed this, he didn't say anything. After all, this wasn't a big deal. Walking into the 9 Clouds Trading Company, the visual impact and the simple and unadorned aura hit them in the face. At this moment, the 9 Clouds Trading Company was bustling with people coming and going. Moreover, the layout of the 9 Clouds Trading Company was very eye-catching. On the outside, it was an ancient building with 9 floors. On the inside, it was extremely luxurious and magnificent. It was completely different from the outside. Even Lin Rei was stunned when he saw the huge difference between the inside and the outside. This difference in style is really not ordinary. As he spoke, he forced a smile. Yes. Seeing Lin Rei's reluctant expression, Xiao Shui smiled and said, the layout of the 9 Clouds Trading Company has always been like this. In the past, I couldn't come out and only heard about it from passers-by. Now that I've seen it with my own eyes, it's really like what everyone says. That's right. Seeing his daughter and Lin Ray like this, Lu Yuan couldn't help but add, although the Nine Clouds Trading Company is a trading company, in recent years, it has the momentum to surpass the 7 sections. Moreover, the Nine Clouds Trading Company can be said to be the most powerful trading company in the entire Ninth State. Under the development of the Nine Clouds Trading Company, the Huang's Chamber of Commerce and the Zhou's Chamber of Commerce have begun to show signs of destruction. I think it won't be long before they are destroyed. Furthermore, I've heard that the background of this Nine Clouds Trading Company is extremely powerful. Furthermore, according to the rumors, the shadow of the upper realm can be faintly seen behind this Nine Clouds Trading Company. Saint's World. Upon hearing Lu Yuan's words, Lin Ray abruptly turned his head and exclaimed through telepathy. That's right, the Saint's World. Of course, that's only a rumor. No one knows for sure, let alone verify whether it's true, so, this is getting more and more interesting. Lin Ray completely ignored Lu Yuan's last words. At this moment, Lin Ray's thoughts were completely different from Lu Yuan's. On the contrary, he was starting to think about that rumor. As the saying goes, wind comes from an empty cave. If there was no shadow, how could such a rumor spread? However, if that was really the case, then there was a problem. Why were people from the Saint's World appearing so frequently in the Divine World? Previously, in the other 8 states, there were already geniuses from the Saint's World. Now, in the 9th state, it was the same. Just what do they come down here for? Lin Ray stared blankly in front of him and couldn't help muttering to himself. Who came down here? The sudden voice caused Lin Ray to come back to his senses. He turned his head to look at Xiao Shui. Since we're here, let's see if there's anything that Xiao Shui likes. If there is, let your father buy it for you. As he said that, he turned his head to look at Lu Yuan with a sinister smile on his face. Then he walked inside. Sigh, is this Nine Clouds right or wrong? Lin Ray's smile caused a wave of fear to rise in Lu Yuan's heart. Sirs, may I know what you came to Nine Clouds Trading Company to buy? As long as you say it, as long as you want it, there's nothing that Nine Clouds doesn't have. At that moment, the attendant at the entrance saw Lin Ray's group and jogged over to Lin Ray's group with a smile on his face. Oh, is that so? Lin Ray was stunned when he heard such big words. Then he smiled and said, That's right. My Nine Clouds Trading Company is the largest trading company in the 9th state. As long as you want it, my Nine Clouds Trading Company will definitely be able to take it out. The attendant's expression didn't change in the slightest when he heard Lin Ray's words. He was still smiling like he was bathing in the spring breeze. I hope you won't disappoint me. Lin Ray didn't try to explain himself. He turned his head to look at the crowd and asked curiously, May I know what day it is today? Why are there so many people here? Yes, that's right. There are so many people here. What are they doing here? Xiao Shui agreed when he heard Lin Ray's words. The attendant looked doubtfully at Lin Ray's group and asked hesitantly, Could it be that the 3 of you aren't from the Heavenly Cloud continent? Yes, that's right. We just came from another place. May I know where this place is? Oh, I see. When the attendant heard Lin Ray's words, he immediately put on a matter-of-fact expression. It's normal that you don't know. Oh, why do you say that? The attendant said proudly. Suddenly, Lin Ray felt displeased. Today is my Nine Clouds Trading Company's once-in-a-millennium auction. Therefore, various powers have come. The scene is in full swing and very lively. May I know, if the few of you are interested in going up to watch, which power are you from? When he heard that various powers had come, Lin Ray's interest was piqued. He immediately asked, May I know if there are any rules up there? I didn't expect you to be so familiar with this place. The attendant praised Lin Ray when he saw that he knew. Then, he said seriously, Young master, you are right. Then tell me about it. Lin Ray did not want to listen to nonsense. He went straight to the point. Okay, I will tell you now. The attendant did not dare to delay when he saw Lin Ray's impatient look. It's like this. If the auction is held in the main hall, you will have to pay 500,000 low-grade divine crystals. What? 500,000? 500,000 low-grade divine crystals? Why don't you just rob us? Lu Yuan exclaimed as soon as the attendant at the side spoke. Perhaps it was because he saw Lin Rei's disdainful look. Lu Yuan knew that he had lost his composure. However, 500,000 low-grade divine crystals was not a small sum to him, even though he was a late ultimate god. However, who said that a late ultimate god cultivator must be rich? At this moment, the attendant was stunned when he saw Lu Yuan's reaction. He looked at Lin Rei suspiciously. Damn, don't tell me that this group of people didn't. Money. Continue. He knew what the attendant was thinking. He immediately spoke and turned to glare at Lu Yuan. When he saw Lin Rei's glare, he immediately shut his mouth and stood to the side without saying anything. Continue. Lin Rei said again when he saw that the attendant was still hesitating. However, this time, Lin Rei was clearly angry. Okay. As an attendant, he was usually chosen by the main house to be able to read people's expressions. Thus, the attendant knew exactly what Linley was trying to say. Thus, he didn't dare to delay and continue to speak. Previously, the main hall had to pay 500,000 low-grade divine crystals in exchange for a membership card at Jiuyin. In the future, anyone with a membership card will have a 5% discount on all the items in the store. As for the rooms on the second floor, that's a VIP room. It costs 500,000 mid-grade divine crystals in exchange for a membership card. However, the difference is that customers with a VIP card will have a 10% discount on all their purchases in Jiuyin. As for the third floor, the attendant hesitated when he mentioned the third floor. It was not that he did not want to say it, but he was afraid that it would be a waste of time. Based on Lu Yuan's behavior, he was certain that none of the people in front of him were rich. The third floor? What's wrong with the third floor? Why aren't you saying anything? Lin Rei asked when he saw the attendant's hesitation. The third floor costs 1 million high-grade divine crystals. Those with a VIP card will have a 20% discount on all their purchases in Jiuyin. So, 20% discount? Lin Rei understood what the attendant meant. However, Lin Rei was obviously tempted. Although the second floor was cheaper, Lin Rei did not want to stay on the second floor. Well, what do you mean? You can't be thinking of? Lu Yuan felt a chill run down his spine when he saw the sneaky smile on Lin Rei's face. He felt an indescribable pain in his heart. Although he had not interacted much with Lin Rei, Lu Yuan had a pretty good grasp of Lin Rei's character. Lin Rei did not want to say anything as he looked at Lu Yuan. Moreover, from the beginning to the end, Lin Rei had never thought of spending a single divine crystal from Lu Yuan. Ignoring Lu Yuan, Lin Rei turned to the attendant and said with a smile, "Give me a room on the third floor." Oh, the third floor. What? The third floor? The attendant was calm at first when he heard Lin Rei's words. However, when he came back to his senses, he simply exploded. The third floor. That was the third floor. It was impossible to obtain a room on the third floor without 1 million divine crystals. Of course, 1 million high-grade divine crystals was nothing in the eyes of large sects and clans. However, the 3 people before him, no matter how he looked at them, they did not look like rich people at all. Ignoring the attendant's shock and disbelief, Lu Yuan said with certainty, "That's right, the third floor. According to the rules of the trading company, if you want to enter the third floor, you must first pay? That's right. You must pay the bill first before I can bring you there. Otherwise, with this lowly one status, I'm afraid it will be difficult to explain myself," said the attendant. "Amen. I understand." As he said that, he sent his consciousness into the storage ring that stored the divine crystals. However, when Lin Rei saw the scene inside the ring, he was stunned. "Fuck, I forgot that I used up all the divine crystals earlier?" When he saw that the storage ring was empty and there was only a small pile of high-grade divine crystals left, Lin Rei recalled that he had used all the divine crystals to buy gifts when he returned home. At this moment, Lin Rei could be said to be extremely embarrassed. However, since he had already said it, if he did not take it out, he would be ridiculed by others. Moreover, if this matter were to spread to Bai Qi or the Xuanzong sect, how would he, as the founder of the trading company, face? When he thought of that, Lin Ray exited the space and looked at the attendant. He said that, I have a medicinal pill here. I wonder where your appraiser is. Air. This situation was completely different from what he had imagined. Earlier, he had arrogantly said that he wanted to get a room on the 3rd floor. However, now it's inside. Of course, the attendant was not surprised by guests like Lin Ray. Moreover, as an attendant of the Nine Clouds Trading Company, he had been instilled with the principle that service was paramount since he was young. "Amen. Bring me there," said Lin Ray. "All right, please follow me." After saying that, the attendant turned around and led him to a room in the depths of the trading company. At this moment, the attendant stopped and gently knocked on the door. He said softly into the room, "Master Gu, there's a person who wants to appraise an item." "Amen, come in." A voice filled with vicissitudes of life came out from the room. "Yes." After receiving permission from the person in the room, the attendant turned around and said, "Everyone, please go in. I will guard the door. Let's go." Ignoring the attendant, he said to Lu Yuan's parents who were behind him. Then, he pushed the door open and entered the room. At this moment, in the room, a white-haired old man was sitting on a chair, sizing up the 3 people who had entered with a trace of interest. When he saw Lu Yuan, who was the last to enter, he was stunned and stood up abruptly. "Lu Yuan, you this is?" Looking at Lu Yuan, the old man's heart was in turmoil. "Isn't this the official city lord of Tianyuan City?" "Hee, Gu Tongfeng, I didn't expect you to still be alive." Lu Yuan, who had just entered the room, was also shocked by the old man. He did not expect the appraiser of the Nine Clouds Trading Company to be the former elder of the Xuanzong Sect, Gu Tongfeng. Gu Tongfeng was stunned by Lu Yuan's words. He really did not know how to continue the conversation. "That's enough. I'm here to appraise the elixir so that it can be added to the auction. I'm not here for you to catch up." Beside them, Lin Ray was stunned when he saw the 2 of them knew each other. Senior, you have no right to speak when we're talking. Shut up." Suddenly, a terrifying aura rushed out from Gu Tongfeng's body. "Don't." He wanted to stop it, but it was too late. Lu Yuan was shocked when he felt the terrifying aura. He did not expect Gu Tongfeng, who had disappeared for 10,000 years, to have entered the intermediate ultimate god realm. Moreover, there were signs of him breaking through to the late ultimate god realm. "Junior? What a joke." Lin Ray was stunned when he felt the aura. Then, he regained his composure and said, "A mere intermediate ultimate god cultivator dares to be so arrogant in front of me. Are you tired of living?" Boom! After that, Lin Ray stopped suppressing his aura and unleashed the aura of a peak intermediate ultimate god. At that moment, the aura that was suppressing Lin Ray was like a rat running across the street when it came into contact with Lin Ray's aura. It ran back into Gu Tongfeng's body and did not dare to come again. It happened so fast that Gu Tongfeng did not even have time to react before he felt the auras surging towards him like a tidal wave. Plop! At this moment, Gu Tongfeng couldn't control his body and directly knelt in front of Linley. His face was filled with pain, and sweat poured down from his forehead like it didn't cost money. "Now, do you still think that I'm a junior?" He slowly walked towards Gu Tongfeng and looked at him with disdain. Chapter 877. How did you? Kneeling on the ground, his face was filled with indescribable shock. The pressure was so strong that he almost couldn't breathe. Moreover, what was even more shocking was that the person in front of him was so young. He never thought that his cultivation level would be so high. Just the pressure alone was enough to make him unable to refute. Not only Gu Tongfeng, but even Lu Yuan, who was beside him, was shocked. Although he knew that Lin Ray was a hierarch, he did not expect him to be so powerful. Sensing how powerful this aura was, most likely even he felt a bit uneasy. He wasn't sure if he was a match for Linley. However, if he knew that Lin Ray did not use his full strength and only used 5/10 of it, how would Lu Yuan react? Seeing that Gu Tongfeng did not respond, he pushed forward again and said, "Speak. Am I still a junior? If so, then, I'm sorry, I'm wrong." Suddenly, Gu Tongfeng's face turned red and apologized. "I'm sorry. It's my fault for looking down on you. It's my fault for not knowing who you are. Please forgive me, Sai." Looking at Gu Tongfeng's pitiful appearance, Lin Rei was stunned for a moment and then sighed. "I'm asking if I'm still a junior? I don't want to hear anything other than that." Seeing Lin Rei's reaction, Lu Yuan was startled and smiled bitterly. "It seems like I shouldn't offend this guy in the future. Otherwise, I'll end up in the same situation." Then, imagining himself kneeling on the ground and begging Lin Rei, he felt a chill down his spine. At that moment, Lu Yuan was sure that he would not offend Lin Rei easily in the future. He did not want to kneel in front of Lin Rei and apologize one day. You're not a junior. It's my fault. It's my fault that my dog eyes failed to recognize gold and jade." Gu Tongfeng directly responded to Lin Rei's request. He didn't want to keep kneeling like this. Moreover, he was right. He had indeed looked down on Lin Rei by calling a hierarch realm cultivator a junior. Yes, that's right. Hearing Gu Tongfeng's words, Lin Rei withdrew his pressure and sat down. He took out a bottle of elixirs from his storage ring and placed it on the table. He said, "Let's see if this elixir can be added to today's auction." I'm coming." At this moment, Lin Rei's words were like a demon's voice in Gu Tongfeng's ears. His body trembled, and fear rose from his heart. He immediately turned around and walked over to Lin Rei like a lackey. He picked up the pill bottle, opened it, and looked at Lin Rei with disdain. This is the moment he opened the pill bottle. The small room was instantly filled with the fragrance of pills. How is this possible? Gu Tongfeng seemed to have thought of something. His face was filled with shock. How is this possible? Honorable Great Elixir. How is this possible? When did the divine world have a master who can concoct honorable great elixirs? Lin Rei naturally didn't know what he was thinking. At this moment, Lin Rei only wanted to know the result, although he had already guessed it. How is it? Seeing that Gu Tongfeng didn't reply for a long time, Lin Rei became impatient. "Are you qualified to enter the auction? Is this yours?" Lin Rei asked for the second time. Gu Tongfeng came back to his senses and looked at Lin Rei expectantly. Yes, what's wrong? Is there a problem?" No, it's just that. I have a request. I wonder if you can answer it." At this moment, Gu Feng was very serious and he bowed humbly. "Oh, is there a problem?" Looking at Gu Tongfeng, Lin Rei's interest was piqued. "Tell me, what's the problem?" "Senior, do you know where the person who concocted this elixir is?" Gu Tongfeng couldn't wait to ask Lin Rei. "What's the matter?" Lin Rei didn't think that Gu Tongfeng was so anxious to see the alchemist. He didn't want to invite the alchemist for tea. As the saying goes, one doesn't visit a temple without a reason. Everything was based on profit, which meant that Gu Tongfeng was asking for a favor. Looking at Lin Rei, Gu Tongfeng struggled in his heart for a while. After making a decision, he raised his head and said, my friend, you might not know this. Back then, when Dao's sect was destroyed, my Dao foundation was damaged. Although I've already broken through to the mid-ultimate God realm, it's 10 times harder for me to take another step forward. If I want to enter that realm, it's just wishful thinking." As he said that, his proud face showed a touch of sadness. "I thought I had no hope in this life, but I saw that your elixirs are all revered level. I don't know the specific level, but revered level is enough to heal my injuries. Oh, I see." Hearing this, Lin Rei finally understood. Sure enough, one wouldn't rise early if there was no benefit. Plop! Without any warning, Gu Tongfeng knelt on the ground. His face showed a touch of pain and begging. He kowtowed to Lin Rei and said, "My friend, please tell me. If it's like this, then they'll definitely repay you greatly." "Oh, repay you greatly." Looking at Gu Tongfeng, to be honest, Lin Rei was tempted. After all, he was going to leave after eating. When he left, he would bring most of the ultimate gods with him. Although it would deter the ultimate god sects, Lin Rei was still worried. Now, with the ultimate god kneeling on the ground in front of him, How could Lin Ray let go of such a good opportunity? Then he had an idea. However, Lin Ray didn't sense it in time. After all, he still didn't trust this old man's character. Therefore, it was necessary to test him. As he thought about this, he lowered his head and looked at Gu Tongfeng. A strained smile appeared on Lin Ray's face. If someone who knew Lin Ray saw this expression, he would definitely turn around and leave without saying a word. Because this expression meant that Lin Ray definitely didn't have any good ideas. He definitely had his eyes on something that he was interested in. TSK. Well, it's not that I can't tell you, but I have some elixir refining materials here. You see, my friend, if you need any elixir refining materials, just let me know. Although this old man isn't a member of the Nine Clouds Trading Company, I still have some status here. Hee. I've been waiting for you to say that. Hearing Gu Tongfeng's words, Lin Ray secretly smiled. With a thought, he made a list of all the materials needed to refine profound life and primordial yang and handed it to Gu Tongfeng. Here, these are the materials I need. Find them according to the list. Moreover, I want as many as you have. Do you understand? I want as many as you have. Hearing this, Gu Tongfeng was shocked. He opened the list in his hand, and suddenly, after seeing the materials on the list, he was shocked. MIT wasn't that he wasn't calm, but he couldn't calm down at all. Although these materials weren't peerless, they were after all high-grade materials. Moreover, one or two of them were priceless. More importantly, he wanted as many as he could. At this moment, Gu Tongfeng was in a dilemma. What's wrong? You don't have any in the Nine Clouds Trading Company? Seeing Gu Tongfeng's reaction, Lin Ray frowned and asked, No. He didn't dare to lie and quickly said, It's like this. Are you sure you want as many as you can? Yes. Is there a problem? If there is, can I find someone else? After saying that, he revealed a disappointed expression and looked as if he wanted to leave. Seeing Lin Ray's reaction, Gu Tongfeng looked as if he was completely defeated. Fellow cultivator, I'll ask someone to prepare it for you. Yes, that's right. Seeing that he could solve this problem, Lin Ray didn't bother to move anymore. To be honest, Lin Ray didn't want to move anymore. Yes. In response to Lin Ray's words, Gu Tongfeng could only say yes because he wanted to get some clues about the venerable level alchemist from Lin Ray. Okay, this problem is solved. Now, let's talk about this elixir. Okay, please tell me. I can go to the third floor like this, but I heard that there are many rules here. You have to pay to enter, so you can see how much this elixir is worth. See if it's enough to enter the third floor. What? Suddenly, Gu Tongfeng was shocked. He knew about this rule, but to ask a divine venerable cultivator to do this, wasn't that the same as asking for death? Divine venerable cultivators in the realm of the gods were highly sought after by all the major sects and forces. Jiuyun's action had already made his stance clear. Thinking of this, Gu Tongfeng felt a wave of disdain in his heart. However, facing Lin Ray, who was stronger than him, Gu Tongfeng wouldn't offend Lin Ray for Jiuyun's sake. Thinking of this, Lin Ray said, Fellow cultivator, not only can your elixir enter the auction, you can also go to the third floor. Please wait for a moment. I'll ask someone to bring you up now. After saying that, Gu Tongfeng didn't dare to neglect Lin Ray. He turned around and walked to the door and said to the servant outside, You at the door, get your ass in here. At this moment, the servant who was waiting for Lin Ray and the others to come out suddenly heard the angry roar. His body trembled and he frowned. His heart was filled with doubts. However, he didn't dare to disobey Gu Tongfeng's order. He opened the door with doubts. The moment the door was opened, the servant saw Gu Tongfeng standing at the door with a look of annoyance. The servant knew that something bad was going to happen. As soon as the door was opened, the servant quickly bowed and said, Elder Gu, I wonder why you called me here? What's the matter? Seeing the servant's confused face, Gu Tongfeng sneered. Bring them to the third floor. Remember, these are Jiuyun's guests. You must treat them well. As for your previous behavior, I will report it to the president. As for how the president will deal with you, it will depend on your luck. What? Guests? As he spoke, he turned his head to look. When he saw Lin Li's group, he was stunned. However, From Gu Tongfeng's words, he heard that his future and life were in the hands of these guests. As a servant who had learned to observe people's expressions since he was young, he quickly ran in front of Lin Rei and the others. With a plop sound, he knelt on the ground and kept kowtowing and begging for mercy. Guests, I didn't take good care of you just now and offended you. Please forgive me. It is my fault. I have eyes but failed to recognize Mount Tai. I have eyes but failed to see. I didn't know that you were my guests. It is my fault, Lin Rei. Looking at the servant in front of him, Lin Rei was speechless. What the hell is he doing? Why is he begging for mercy like this? Is there nothing else to say? Or is this what the owner of Jiuyun Trading Company taught you? Although he thought so, on the surface, Lin Rei's expression was still normal. Get up. I don't care about this matter. However, if you continue to talk nonsense, I will be very angry. Yes, I will bring you to the 3rd floor now. Understanding Lin Rei's meaning, he turned around and led Lin Rei and the others outside. Farewell, fellow Taoist. I hope you have a good time. Rest assured, I will definitely prepare all the materials you need before you come out. Looking at the backs of Lin Rei and the others, Gu Tongfeng said. Then, he started to run around for Lin Rei's matter. At this moment, on the 3rd floor, there was an empty space. In the center, there was an arena. Below the arena, there were 100 things placed around it. In the surroundings, the floors were separated. The 1st floor was the empty space now. The 2nd floor also had 15 rooms. The 3rd floor was the same as the 2nd floor, but the only difference was that there were fewer rooms. There were only 9 rooms. At this moment, Lin Rei and the others were standing in front of one of the 9 rooms on the 3rd floor. At this moment, the servant opened the door and introduced to Lin Rei and the others. Esteemed guests, this is the noble symbol of my Jiuyun Trading Company. Winter Cloud Pavilion is one of the 9 rooms. There are spirit fruits as food, spirit tea, and various other benefits inside. I will be waiting outside. As long as you need it, I will be at your service. After saying that, the servant glanced at the 3 of them. Since there was nothing else, he said goodbye. Since it's like this, I will leave first. Dong. After the servant left, the door closed. At this moment, Little Snow returned to her previous self. She stood up and looked around curiously. Facing her, Lin Rei and Lu Yuan looked at each other and smiled bitterly. Okay, Little Snow, quickly look at what you need. This place is so cool. The items shouldn't be too bad. At this moment, Linley hurriedly reminded her when he saw that the auction was in full swing. That's right. With a scream, Little Snow turned around and walked to the window. Leaning against the window, she looked at the items being auctioned below. Suddenly, a glint flashed across her eyes. Seems like you like this, Kai Wang. At this moment, the 1st floor was auctioning a set of middle-grade legendary equipment. And coincidentally, it was a set for girls. Looking at the Kai Wang, Lin Rei turned to Lu Yuan and reminded him, your daughter seems to like this set of equipment. As a father, you can't not buy it for your daughter, right? F***CK. Hearing this, Lu Yuan's heart skipped a beat. But there was nothing he could do. After all, he couldn't find any fault with Lin Rei's words. Buy. In the end, Lu Yuan could only grit his teeth and bear with the pain. He clutched his chest and said the word buy painfully. Chapter 878. Oh yeah, hearing her father's words, Xiao Shui was overjoyed. After all, she was still a child. Which girl didn't like beautiful clothes? Looking at Xiao Shui's happy expression, Ying and Bing's figures appeared in Lin Rei's mind. How good would it be if the 2 of you were here? Of course, Lin Rei wouldn't let them come back. After all, they still had things to do. Moreover, their cultivation was at the great perfection ultimate God realm. Lin Rei didn't care about their safety at all. 3 million low-grade, divine crystals. Lu Yuan immediately started bidding. He was never stingy when it came to his daughter. 3 million, 3 million. Is there anyone else? 3 million going once. At this moment, the auctioneer on the 1st floor's stage heard the voice from the 3rd floor and suddenly became serious. In Jiuyun, who didn't know what the third floor represented. Thus, as a staff member, he naturally didn't dare to be careless or arrogant. 3 million going twice. F asterisk CK. Who is it? Isn't it just a mid-grade divine artifact set? Is there a need to go so far? Yeah, 3 million low-grade divine crystals. This is F asterisk king. Are you kidding? 3 million for the third floor? Who wouldn't dare to bid? Who doesn't know what the third floor represents? Isn't this F asterisk king monopolizing the market? Yeah, this is too much. How shameless. At this moment, when the auctioneer shouted for the second time, the crowd couldn't remain calm anymore. Their faces were filled with complaints. Of course, who would care about these strangers who were like strangers? No one would care. The auctioneer wouldn't care, Lin Ray wouldn't care, and Lu Yuan wouldn't care. 3 million going thrice. With a bang, the healing auctioneer slammed the hammer on the table. The esteemed guest of the red-clothed third floor's Winter Cloud Pavilion has obtained it. Congratulations, congratulations, congratulations. Fellow cultivator, congratulations on obtaining it. Yeah, congratulations, fellow cultivator. Congratulations, fellow cultivator. At this moment, as soon as the auctioneer finished speaking, the scene filled with resentment completely disappeared. Instead, it was replaced by endless congratulations for Lu Yuan. Looking at the crowd, Lin Ray could only think of one word: hypocrites. Of course, this kind of hypocrisy came quickly, and so did the confirmation. After all, this was an auction, so, little Snow, the Emperor Kai Wang will send it over to you in a moment. When you wear it, you'll have a powerful defensive energy. At this moment, on the third floor of the Winter Cloud Pavilion, when Lu Yuan saw that he had won the bid for Kai Wang, a smile appeared on his face. Yes, that's a good thing for you. He agreed with Lu Yuan and looked down. Although Lin Ray's main purpose of coming here was to find medicinal herbs for Xiao Shui, he was no longer in a hurry after finding Gu Tongfeng. Just now, he thought his wife, so Lin Ray wanted to see if there was anything novel and buy it for them. His gaze fell on the auction stage. At this moment, an attendant was dragging something from the backstage onto the stage. At this moment, the moment the attendant appeared, everyone's attention was focused on the item in the attendant's hand. Even Lin Ray wasn't surprised at all. The young auctioneer raised his head and looked at everyone's eyes. He smiled and said, "Everyone, this is the last item of our auction. It's also the finale of this once-in-a-millennium auction. I'm sure everyone is very curious about what the last item is. Of course, if it's the finale item, it must be very good, right? Yes, the finale item might not be a saint-level cultivation technique, but it's also possible to have a divine weapon as a gift. Hurry up and take it out. Let's see what the final item is. It's so mysterious. Hurry up and take it out. Let's see what Juyun's finale item is." Hearing the crowd's words, the young auctioneer frowned. However, he quickly recovered and reminded the crowd in a gentle voice, Everyone, please calm down. Calm down." No matter what the auctioneer said, the crowd was still the same. They didn't change at all. Sigh. After sighing helplessly, he changed the topic. He coughed softly and said in a deep voice, "Cultivation. This is the final item. I don't know its exact name, nor do I know its exact use. Preliminary evaluation shows that it's an ore. The ore is so hard that even a supreme-grade divine weapon won't be able to cut it open. It won't even leave a mark." Silence. At this moment, the voice of the young attendant entered the ears of everyone present. At this moment, the entire place naturally quieted down. Those who had been talking noisily and those who had gathered around had all quieted down. No one was happier than the auctioneer on the stage. Cultivation. This item's appearance is a little unexpected, but it's truly a treasure. The starting price is 3 million mid-grade divine crystals. Each increment is 500,000 mid-grade divine crystals. Let the auction begin. With a whoosh, the young auctioneer immediately removed the black cloth covering the tray. The true appearance of the item that the auctioneer had boasted about was revealed before everyone's eyes. Shit! What's that? Iron egg? That's right. What the hell is that? A ball of mud? Is that a treasure? Haha. Are you sure that a supreme-grade divine weapon won't be able to cut it open? Why do I feel that it's so unconventional? I feel that it's nothing more than a ball of mud. It's useless. Forget it. If this is the final item, then wouldn't this daddy's shit be their family's heirloom? Ha! Umph! Seeing the disdain on the faces of the people below, the auctioneer was furious. He didn't expect the crowd before him to be so ignorant. Others might not know, but he knew very well how powerful those black balls were. Back then, he was the one who had tested those black balls. Furthermore, his expression back then was exactly the same as everyone else's. However, after the experiment, he regretted it. The reason for that was because those black balls were truly powerful. Even a supreme-grade divine weapon was no match for them. However, the crowd couldn't be blamed for their reaction. The final item was truly too similar to a ball of mud. Both balls of mud were the same size. Furthermore, the most outrageous thing was that the 4 balls of mud were completely black. The black man had a look of disdain on his face. Everyone, who are you bidding with? If you want it, then you can pay for it. We'll hand over the money and the goods at the same time. After we're done with the goods, you can go your way and I'll go mine. I'll say the same thing again. Those who are bidding bid. Those who are not bidding, stay away from the entrance. Otherwise, you won't be able to stay in my 9-cloud trade association. After saying that, the young auctioneer snorted coldly and said no more. Perhaps the crowd wouldn't care about his reputation. However, who wouldn't give face to the 9-cloud trade association? They were the largest trade association in the entire domain. Who would dare to offend them? Perhaps even the 7 great sects wouldn't dare to be presumptuous. Sure enough, after the young auctioneer said those words, the crowd became completely silent. There was no longer any clamor like before. Although the crowd was filled with resentment, they still had to take the 9-cloud trade association into consideration. They didn't dare to be presumptuous. That's good. Looking at the silence below, the young auctioneer's lips curled into a smile. Everyone begin the bidding. The highest bidder wins. Silence. It was incomparably quiet. After the young auctioneer said those words, no one was willing to bid. The appearance of this scene was a blow to the young auctioneer. He couldn't figure out why no one would bid for such a hard item. Moreover, what surprised him the most was that the group of refining maniacs from the weapon refining sect didn't say anything. In the past, whenever they came across good ores or refining materials, they would spare no effort to bid. But now, what was going on? He didn't say anything and only frowned. He couldn't figure it out. However, he didn't bid for the item. He just waited quietly like this. In any case, there was only an hour. As long as an hour passed and no one bid, the item would be lowered. Although this was a symbolic insult to the auctioneer, there was no other way. Who asked this final item to look so unconventional? However, the Winter Cloud Pavilion was dead silent at this moment. Even Lin Ray couldn't help but frown when he saw the black ball of mud on the stage. His face was filled with disgust. Damn, who would want this thing? Ding. Abnormality detected. Host, do you want to investigate? Investigating will consume 300,000 exchange points. Do you want to continue? Suddenly, the system's voice appeared in Lin Ray's mind. Lin Ray was stunned. Abnormality? Where? As soon as the system's voice fell, Lin Ray's divine sense instantly left his body like a sharp sword. Like a ferocious beast, it rushed out in an instant. Its speed was astonishing. Lin Ray released his divine sense and enveloped the entire 9 Clouds Pavilion. However, after a round of investigation, Lin Ray didn't find any abnormality as mentioned by the system. Lin Ray had some doubts about this. Kid, since the system said there's an abnormality, it means there really is an abnormality. So agree to it. Moreover, you have to know that as long as it's an item selected by the system, none of it will be a heavenly treasure that won't cause a commotion. Isn't it just 300,000? Is there a need to be so narrow-minded and stingy? Don't forget, you still owe the system a few million. Isn't the saying good? When you have too many debts, you don't worry. When you have too many lice, you don't itch. When you die, You'll have your eggs facing the sky. If you don't die, you'll live for thousands of years. What's there to be afraid of? Listening to the little dragon's out-and-out words, Lin Ray was stunned. He didn't know anything else. He didn't expect the little dragon to say something like this. However, thinking about it carefully, it really was the case. Anyway, he already owed so much. He wasn't afraid of owing more. After thinking it through, he immediately said, "System, investigate abnormality." Ding good. Host, please wait a moment. The investigation has been activated. Investigating, please wait. It had been waiting for a long time. After hearing Lin Ray's order, the system instantly activated and began to investigate. To be honest, Lin Ray was actually very curious. For the system to detect abnormality, Lin Ray wanted to see what kind of item it was, even though he had to spend a little money. "Mister, aren't you going to take action?" Although that thing's appearance is a little ugly, but as the saying goes, you can't judge a book by its cover. You can't just look at its ugly appearance and ignore it. If you do that, it will also hurt. On the side, hearing his daughter's words, Lu Yuan was also speechless. He held his forehead as if his head was hurting. However, Lin Ray was also speechless. He didn't expect that the little girl in front of him would care about the feelings of a stone. "Sigh, that thing doesn't look like a good thing. It's useless to say that, so..." Ding! Investigation complete. "Do you want to check?" Just when Lin Ray and Snowy were talking, the system's voice suddenly sounded. Regarding this, Lin Ray was surprised. Then, he ignored Snowy and ordered the system. "Check." Ding good. Please wait a moment. After receiving the order, a light screen that only Lin Ray could see appeared in front of him. A line of information appeared. Heaven annihilation, rock fire. A type of flame formed from the precipitation of an undying volcano. In its dormant state, it looks like a stone, but isn't. In its awakened state, it is like an undying flame that can burn everything in the world. Zhuang, mudball? After seeing this information, Lin Ray couldn't help but look at the appearance of the mud ball on the auction stage. It was almost exactly the same as the information that the system had detected. At this moment, Lin Ray felt pain in his face. It was very, very painful. Damn, it can't be. I just said that I don't want to buy it. Damn it. Is it trying to kill me? He waved his hand and dispersed the light screen in front of him. Then, he looked at the mud ball with a bitter expression. Damn it. Can it still work? Look at you. If it's a rock fire, then so be it. Why didn't it stay in its awakened state? Why did it have to turn into a mud ball? He complained and thought about how to explain his previous words. For million mid-grade, divine crystals. Suddenly, a voice resounded throughout the auction house. Similarly, this voice also landed in Lin Ray's ears. Suddenly, Lin Ray's expression changed when he heard this bid. He was startled, and his eyes fell on the room where the voice came from. The third floor. It was also the third floor. Moreover, it just so happened that the room was right across from him. Ha! Is it something that belongs to the Supreme One? Looking at the room opposite him, Lin Ray had a mocking expression on his face. Then, he didn't think about what he said before and called out a bid, 5 million. Asterisk qua. Asterisk when a number of 5 million appeared, everyone in the auction house was stunned. Even Lu Yuan and Little Snow, who were under the same roof as Lin Ray, were shocked. Little Snow was fine. After all, she was under her father's protection and didn't know the number of 5 million. However, it was different for Lu Yuan. He was very clear about it. In the 7 sects, 5 million was enough for 50 years of cultivation resources, let alone 100 years. But now, the young man in front of him had opened his mouth and called out 5 million. Most importantly, the young man in front of him had just said that the rock fire wasn't good. But now he was calling out a huge sum of 5 million. This was a slap in the face. Thinking about this, Lu Yuan couldn't help but laugh inwardly. Facing Lin Ray's slap in the face, he seemed to have found a bargaining chip that could make Lin Ray uncomfortable. He was very happy. Damn it. As expected, this old man caught me slapping his face. Feeling the change in Lu Yuan's mood, Lin Ray was shocked and depressed. However, when he thought about the rock fire, these things weren't so important anymore. Chapter 879. 6 million. The person in the room opposite Lin Ray once again offered a shocking price. Lin Ray was a little confused about this move. He clearly had such a good opportunity to make a move before, but why did he wait until now to make a move? What was he trying to do? Was he trying to disgust him? Although he didn't think about it before, after knowing the true appearance of the mud ball, how could Lin Ray give it up? Even if he didn't need it, but what about his disciple? As for his son, he could give it to anyone. As long as he absorbed the heavenly rock flame, it would be easy for him to break through to the sage realm. 7 million. Lin Ray was determined to get the heavenly rock flame. It didn't matter who came. Wasn't it just a competition of financial resources? Linley had never been afraid of anyone in this regard. 8 million. Fellow Taoist opposite. This item is very important to this old man. I wonder if I can form a good relationship with you, and let me have it. Of course, if you feel that you have lost out, you can tell me what you want. As long as you can let me have the auction item, I will definitely reward you generously. How about it? Reward you generously? Hearing the words from the opposite room, Lin Ray didn't know what to say for a moment. He could only sneer. He didn't expect the person opposite him to be so stupid. However, Lin Ray didn't blame him. After all, it wasn't his fault that he was stupid. However, although it wasn't his fault that he was stupid, it was a different matter if he was in the way of others. He paused for a moment, then sneered and said in a low voice, "I'm sorry, but I also have a use for this thing. Although this thing is no different from a mud ball, I took a liking to it at first sight, so sorry. Of course, as you said just now, if you can form a good relationship with me and let me have the item, then you." Hearing Lin Ray's words, the person in the room opposite Lin Ray was shocked and anxious. He didn't expect Lin Ray to use his words just now to refute. "Okay, since you said so, then let's rely on our own abilities. I don't believe you can win against me." At this time, the other party couldn't stand it and chose to fight. Sure, it would be my pleasure." Although the current situation was not what Lin Ray wanted to see, the other party had already bullied him to his doorstep. There was no reason for him to not welcome them. Moreover, Lin Ray did not want to lose, no matter what. Interesting. I originally thought that no one would want to buy it, but now it has become a hot commodity. Moreover, there are people competing for it now. At this moment, the young auctioneer on the stage saw the situation on the third floor. Instead of stopping them, he was secretly delighted. "Let's fight. The fiercer you fight, the more I, Jiu Yun, will gain. Continue, don't stop." If Ruo Lin, Lei, and the people in the opposite room knew what the young auctioneer was thinking, they would probably rush down and give him a big slap. 8 million. 8 million. Is there anyone else? 8 million going once. As the saying went, adding fuel to the fire was nothing more than this. The young auctioneer urged, 8 million going twice, 10 million. The moment the number of 10 million was called out, the whole place went into an uproar. 10 million was not 100 or 1,000. Apart from the 7 major sects, who else would have such a strong financial power? 11 million. The enemy continued to pursue Linley, refusing to let go. Linley raised an eyebrow at this, and a wave of impatience welled up within him. He didn't want to waste any more time in a situation like this. After all, he still had important things to do. He couldn't keep wasting time here. Thinking about this, Lin Ray raised his head and looked at the opposite room. He opened his mouth and said, 30 million. "Ha!" The moment Lin Ray raised the price from 10 million to 30 million, the sound of a teacup falling to the ground suddenly came from the opposite room. Not only that, the whole place went silent. Even the auctioneer was stunned. 30 million. This had completely exceeded their expectations. Regarding this result, no one was more satisfied than the Jiu Yun Trading Company and the auctioneer himself. However, the room opposite Lin Ray fell into a deathly silence at this moment. There was no sound at all. Lin Ray sneered at this. "Oomph, you want to fight with me? You're still too inexperienced. However, because of you, I have to spend more divine crystals. Don't let me know who you are. Otherwise, I will make you regret what you did today." However, in another room on the third floor, the scene was very different from what Lin Ray had imagined. One of the old men was glaring at Lin Ray's room with red eyes. It was as if he wanted to rush up and kill someone. It was terrifying. Calm down, elder, calm down. It's not worth it for this thing. Since the other party can take out 30 million, it means that his strength is not to be underestimated. Beside the old man, a woman in white clothes hurried forward to stop the old man when he was angry. She knew the old man's temper very well. If she did not stop him, the situation would be out of control. At the same time, she looked at Lin Ray's room with vigilance. She was curious. She was also very curious about which force could take out so many divine crystals at once. However, with the old man's current appearance, if they really met, it would probably be a world-destroying battle. In response, the woman suppressed her curiosity and stopped the old man from losing his temper. 30 million going once. The young auctioneer's voice came from the first floor. One could hear the excitement and agitation in his voice. 30 million? They really dare to take out such a price? For this black ball of mud, TSK, TSK, TSK. That's right. Which force is it that has such powerful financial resources? Haha, I'm afraid it's difficult to find out. However, there are only a few sects in the domain that can take out such a huge amount of money. No matter who it is, one thing is certain, and that is that they don't want to see it. Your words, haha, really, at this moment, the conversation reached the third floor. However, everyone was indifferent to the topic of their conversation. However, only the old man who had bid with Lin Ray heard the discussion. His face suddenly darkened, and he ordered the woman beside him. Go. No matter what method you use, you must find out for me. I want to see which sect can afford such a huge amount of money. Isai, all right. She originally wanted to stop him, but she deeply understood that if she refused, it would definitely lead to a battle of words. Therefore, the woman chose to give up and compromise in the end. Lin Ray didn't know about this scene. Of course, even if he knew, he wouldn't care. As the saying goes, counter soldiers with arms, water with an earth weir. Since it was coming, he should take it as it came. 30 million going twice. 30 million going thrice. With a bang, the hammer fell. Congratulations, fellow Taoist, for winning your beloved item. As he spoke, the young auctioneer gestured to the attendant beside him. The attendant understood and carried the black ball of mud upstairs to Lin Ray's room. Everyone, the auction that occurs once in 1,000 years can be considered to have come to a successful conclusion. Regardless of whether you obtained your favorite item or not, you have already given me a lot of face by coming here. Xin, thank you. As he spoke, he bowed to the crowd and continued. This auction has come to a successful conclusion. Today, after 1,000 years, I hope that everyone will continue to support my 9 Clouds Commerce Hall. Clap, clap, clap. Suddenly, a series of claps resounded throughout the auction house. The auctioneer named Xin smiled and announced loudly, since that's the case then, I hereby announce that the auction has come to an end. Everyone, please leave. After saying that, without waiting for the crowd to react, Xin's figure flashed. She was still standing on the stage a moment ago, but in the next moment, she disappeared without a trace. Everyone who came back to their senses was shocked. However, it was only a shock. After all, this was 9 clouds, an existence that was on par with the 7 great sections. Gradually, the crowd stopped paying attention to Xin's departure and headed outside. Of course, after coming to 9 clouds, some people obtained what they wanted, while others obtained nothing. Dong, dong, dong. Someone knocked on the door of the Winter Cloud Pavilion on the 3rd floor. The person at the door was none other than Xin, who had disappeared earlier. She stood at the door with 2 attendants following behind her. Each of them was holding a plate with the heaven-extinguishing rock fire and the Emperor mining set. Please come in. At this moment, a deep voice came from the room. Hearing that, Xin was startled. Then, she pushed the door open and walked in with the 2 attendants. In the room, Lin Ray was casually sitting at the side. Lu Yuan and Little Snow were also sitting at the main seats. They seemed to be the hosts. When Xin walked into the room and saw the seats in the room, she immediately treated Lu Yuan as the host. She stepped forward and bowed respectfully. I am the auctioneer. Excellent. These are the 2 items that you bid for. Please keep them well. As she spoke, Exine waved her hand at the attendant behind her. She instructed the attendant to place the 2 items on the table respectfully. Then, she returned to her original position and remained silent. Not bad. Seeing the 2 items appear in perfect condition, Lu Yuan nodded and smiled. With a thought, a pill bottle appeared in his hand. Kid, this is the Water Cloud pill, a top-grade God-tier pill. There are 10 pills in a bottle to offset the price of these items. As for the rest, you can do as you see fit. After a brief introduction, he casually tossed a bottle of pills to Exin. Pills. Exin caught the pill and was stunned. This was the first time she had encountered such a situation. She also didn't expect that the other party would use such a method to pay. What? You don't like them? Or are you saying that my top-grade, God-tier Water Cloud pill can't compare to the price of these 2 items? Lu Yuan was displeased by Exin's shock. To be honest, if it wasn't for the fact that he didn't have so many God crystals, he probably wouldn't have taken out the pills that Lin Rei gave him. After all, the Water Cloud pill was a top-grade God-tier pill. If any one of them were to be auctioned, it would probably be worth several sets of Emperor-tier pills. Most importantly, the Water Cloud pill was a simplified version of the 9 Transformation Water Cloud pill. Although it wasn't as effective as the 9 Transformation Water Cloud pill, it could still restore a dying cultivator to his former glory. This, looking at the pill bottle in her hand, the XN was stunned. Everyone, I can't make the decision on this matter. Then, the Exine thought for a moment and said, how about this? I'll go down and let the appraiser appraise it. If the items are really worth it, Jiu Yun will definitely accept them. I wonder, what do you think of my suggestion? Sure, you can go. At this moment, Lu Yuan subconsciously glanced at Lin Rei and replied, oh, by the way, when you go to appraise them, remember to ask Gu Tongfeng to come up and say that Lu Yuan said so. Okay. Hearing this, Exin was stunned. Then, she nodded in agreement. To be able to say appraiser Jiu Yun's name directly, the other party's identity was obvious. Then I'll take my leave first. After bowing to Lu Yuan, Exin hurriedly left the room. However, the 2 attendants stayed behind. After all, the items had not been paid yet, so they didn't dare to leave and couldn't leave. Sigh. Looking at the door, Lin Rei sighed. I didn't expect Jiu Yun to be so long-winded, but this is the last time. Next time, let's go somewhere else. Okay, I understand. Lu Yuan didn't dare to say anything. Of course, he agreed with Lin Rei's words. The 2 of them didn't care about the attendants at all. It was as if they didn't exist and didn't exist. The room fell into silence. Time passed quickly. Lin Rei didn't know how much time had passed. He only remembered that he had eaten 4 or 5 fruits. Dong, dong, dong. Someone knocked on the door again. However, from a knocking, one could tell that the person was very anxious or impatient. Come in. Lu Yuan didn't need to think to know that the person knocking on the door was Exin's auctioneer. Sure enough, as soon as Lu Yuan opened his mouth, the door was pushed open. Just as Lu Yuan expected, Exin's figure appeared, accompanied by Gu Tongfeng. Closing the door, Gu Tongfeng had an anxious look on his face. He took a step forward and came before Linley. He bowed and said, Fellow Taoist, these are the materials you asked me to prepare. Please take a look. Okay, got it. With a wave of his hand, Lin Rei put away Gu Tongfeng's space ring. After recognizing him as the owner, he entered the ring with his mind. The moment he entered the ring, a satisfied smile appeared on his face. The space inside the ring wasn't very big. It was only the size of a football field. However, at this moment, the ring was filled with Gu Tongfeng's materials. While Lin Rei was admiring the place, Gu Tongfeng separated all the materials. However, when Exin saw this scene, he was stunned. His brain couldn't process it. He knew Gu Tongfeng's strength, but now, Gu Tongfeng was bowing to a young man in such a respectful tone. He could understand why. Hey kid, can the pill from before offset the price of the 2 items? At this moment, seeing Exin's stunned expression, Lu Yuan's face turned cold, and he asked in a low voice, "Ah, ah, oh that? Yes, 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 yes." When he came back to his senses and saw Lu Yuan's gloomy face, he hurriedly explained that, after the appraisal, your pill has exceeded the price of the two items. After he went to Gu Tongfeng's place, Exin not only learned the use and value of the water cloud pill, but also told him about Lu Yuan's true identity and strength. Chapter 880. As long as you can. Lu Yuan nodded and waved his hand. A gust of spirit energy rushed out and formed a hand that dragged the two trays to his side. He turned his head and looked at his daughter with doting eyes. He said softly, "Schwerer, come here." "Yes, I'm here." Seeing his daughter come over, Lu Yuan handed the tray to her. "This is yours. You can refine it when you go back." "I know." Little Snow took the tray and looked at the Emperor mining set. He caressed it lovingly as if he was caressing his own child. His actions were extremely gentle. Lu Yuan, seeing his daughter act this way, Lu Yuan speechlessly shook his head. He no longer paid her any attention, turning to look at Linley. Carrying the tray over, he said, "Here, this is yours. As for the mining emperor's divine crystals, I'll give them to you later." No need. It's not much. Besides, it's just a set of middle-grade divine artifacts. Lin Rei can afford it. Lin Rei waved his hand indifferently, as if this matter was insignificant. However, Lin Rei seemed to have forgotten that divine artifacts were indeed insignificant to a venerable level weapon refiner like him. They were dispensable. However, Lu Yuan and the others present were different. Divine artifacts were precious items that were hard to come by. "No." Facing Lin Rei, Lu Yuan said seriously, Lu Yuan, don't want to owe anyone. Besides, I can still afford it." Okay, do as you wish." Since Lu Yuan wanted to pay it back, he would pay it back. It didn't matter. On the side, Exin, Gu Tongfeng, and the two attendants felt helpless as they listened to the conversation between Lin Rei and Lu Yuan. However, they didn't dare to speak. Gu Tongfeng knew very well how terrifying Lin Rei was. "Okay, we've finished what we came here for. Shouldn't we leave?" Lin Rei got up and said, Yes, we should leave." Lu Yuan nodded. If that's the case, then both of them that. Gu Tongfeng panicked when he saw that Lin Rei and the others were about to leave. He had been waiting for so long. Whether he could break through to the late hierarch realm or even higher depended on the alchemy master that Lin Rei knew. Now that Lin Rei was about to leave, how could Gu Tongfeng not be anxious when he did not know anything about the alchemy master? What happened? Seeing that Gu Tongfeng wanted to say something but hesitated, Xiao Chun smiled in his heart. He knew that Gu Tongfeng wanted to say something, but on the surface, he was full of doubt. He did not understand what Gu Tongfeng meant. You forgot everything." Seeing the puzzled look on Lin Rei's face, Gu Tongfeng suddenly became anxious. "Fellow cultivator, you're really an eminent person who forgets things. Previously, when I asked for clues about the alchemy master, you said that after you finished, you're talking about this." Lin Rei's sudden realization made Gu Tongfeng overjoyed. He was so excited. "Yes, that's the thing." TSK. Looking at Gu Tongfeng's expression, Lin Rei smacked his lips and said leisurely, "How about this? Follow me to Lu Yuan's place, and I'll tell you what you want to know. How about that?" Hearing this, Gu Tongfeng was stunned and then looked embarrassed. Okay. Since you feel embarrassed, then forget it. Anyway, I won't lose anything," Lin Rei said as he took off his clothes and looked like he was about to leave. Lin Rei's action made Gu Tongfeng anxious. What was there to hesitate about? Seeing that Lin Rei was about to leave, everything was not important anymore. He gritted his teeth, stomped his feet, and chased after him. As he chased, he growled, I'll go. Can we still compete? Hey, wait for me." At this moment, Gu Tongfeng was like a child. This scene fell into the eyes of Exin and the two servants. They were shocked. This was more terrifying than seeing the divine emperor swallow a sword. However, just like that, Lin Rei left Jiyun with the three of them and walked towards Lu Yuan's house, leaving behind a few fools who were running around in their dreams. After a while, the Exan and the two servants came back to their senses. Suddenly, their expressions changed, and they said to the servants beside them, "You can leave first. Remember not to tell anyone about this. If I hear about what happened here from other people, then don't blame me for not caring about your identities." "No, we don't dare. Deacon E, even if you give us more courage, we won't tell anyone about what happened today. We'll definitely keep this matter to ourselves." Afraid that Exin would not believe them, the two servants hurriedly stretched out their hands and prepared to swear. "Okay, seeing that you usually know your place, I won't make things difficult for you today. You can leave." With that, Exin walked out with a serious expression. Exin was still curious and doubtful about Lin Rei's identity. A young man was actually able to order the city lord of Heavenly Cloud City. Moreover, with just a few words, he was able to kidnap Gu Tongfeng. This was really hard for her to believe. At this moment, Lin Rei and the others arrived at the entrance of the earthen house. They lifted their feet and were about to enter. "Wait!" Suddenly, Lu Yuan's voice rang out. His figure flashed and appeared at the door. He reminded them, "Brother Lin, I've set up a seal here. Without my seal, you can't enter." As he spoke, he raised his hand and a mysterious seal appeared. At first, it was very slow, but became faster and faster until only an afterimage was left. But of course, that was only to others. To him, this was nothing more than child's play. In terms of forbidding spells and formations, there really weren't many people in the deity realm who could match him. But of course, up until now, Linley hadn't missed a single one. Okay. After a while, Lu Yuan stopped and said to Lin Rei and the others. He stepped aside and gestured for them to enter. Sigh. Looking at Lu Yuan, Lin Rei did not give him any face and said, "Isn't it just a house? It's like a treasure trove." When Lu Yuan heard this, an awkward expression appeared on his face. However, at the side, Xiao Shui did not give her father any face. She laughed happily. "You're still laughing? Your father is losing face." Looking at the laughing Xiao Shui, Lu Yuan said in annoyance. Then, he ignored her. "Laugh all you want. After all, there's no one else here." Thinking of this, alchemist Lu Yuan did not care too much. "Senior, what do you think now?" Lin Rei, who was walking at the front, stopped and turned his head to look at Gu Tongfeng. Looking at him, he smiled faintly and said, "I know you're impatient. How about this? In a while, I'll be concocting pills. You can wait on me by the side. Who knows, maybe I'll be in a good mood and help you remove the hidden danger in your body." What? Could it be? Could it be that you? Hearing Lin Rei's words, Gu Tongfeng's eyes widened. His gaze was filled with disbelief. He never thought that Lin Rei was the alchemist he was looking for. Thinking of this, Gu Tongfeng immediately knelt on one knee and begged for help. "I beg you, please save me. I don't want to stay in this realm forever. I have a better future. Oh." As he spoke, Gu Tongfeng could not help but cry. His appearance was simply like crying. At this moment, who would have thought that Gu Tongfeng, who was at the top of the realm of the gods, would have such a side to him? All right, hurry up and get up. Don't make a fool of yourself here. You don't know how to act like an old man. Do you still know shame? After saying this, Lin Rei turned around and ignored Gu Tongfeng. Instead, he walked towards a room that Lu Yuan gave him previously. "Oh, right. When I'm concocting pills, remember not to let anyone disturb me. Otherwise, I'll get angry. When I'm angry, I'll bleed." "Amen. All right, I understand. Don't worry. With me, Lu Yuan, here, no one will be able to get close to your room. All right, remember your promise." Without saying anything else, he brought Gu Tongfeng into the room and began his concocting journey. As one of the 7 sects of the 9th province, the Rain sect should have pavilions, terraces, and pavilions. They should be a sacred and noble existence. However, there was none at all. Not only that, they were in a very sorry state. Is there no expert in the Rain sect? At this moment, A young man wearing a blue robe stood proudly in the sky above the sword Sect's listening decree pavilion. His face was filled with disdain as he looked at the trembling crowd below. No way, there's really no one left? That's impossible. Isn't the Rain Sect one of the 7 sects? Why are there so few people? Gloomily, he questioned the crowd below again. F***CK. Big sister, you still have the cheek to say that? You brought 2 paragons to provoke us. You want our Rain Sect to meet you like this? Furthermore, the most outrageous thing is that it's been such a long time. Every time you come, you'll grab the Rain Sect's God Emperor or early-stage Paragon cultivators to fight one-on-one. It's because of you that those elders, disciples, and even grand elders who were beaten by you before were forced into closed-door cultivation. What else do you want? Big sister, can you leave us a way out? The middle-aged man, standing in front of the listening decree pavilion, had a bitter expression. He wanted to cry, but had no tears. That seems to be the case. At this moment, the middle-aged man, standing beside the young man who looked like a subordinate, but also like an elder, was startled. He took a step forward and said, "Little you?" What he said isn't without reason. We've been challenging for a long time. During this time, your cultivation has increased greatly. Furthermore, your combat experience has increased greatly. Let's not talk about your cultivation reaching the great perfection God Emperor realm. Just your combat experience alone is terrifying. Furthermore, young master said that we should plan for the long term. It's not good for us to be like this. If we beat them until they're afraid, we want to teach you a lesson in the future. Suddenly, a terrifying pressure appeared. In just a breath's time, there was a flash of brilliance. A terrifying pressure instantly pressed down on the 3 of them. Suddenly, the 3 of them fell from the sky as though they were weightless. What's going on? There's an expert. Furthermore, it doesn't seem like he's someone we can deal with. The 3 of them fell with solemn expressions. 2 of them were fine, but at least the arrogant young man was extremely pale. His face was as white as a sheet of paper, causing the other 2 to worry. Little you, are you all right? That's right. Little you, nothing must happen to you. If anything happens to you, young master will skin me and Bai Qi alive. The 3 people who were falling at this moment were none other than Bai Qi, Dian Wei, and Lin Wanyu, who had accepted Linley's mission. The young man who had been clamoring earlier was Lin Wanyu, but she had disguised herself as a man for convenience. No, I can't fall any further. Seeing that he was about to land on the ground, Bai Qi made a decision. He crazily released his cultivation and got rid of the pressure that was pressing down on him. Then, he arrived beside Lin Wanyu and grabbed her in his hand. Then, he descended to the ground. As for Dian Wei, the moment Bai Qi got rid of the pressure, he also got rid of the mortgage and regained his freedom. When Dian Wei and Bai Qi got rid of the pressure, someone exclaimed, "Not bad. I didn't expect 3 ants to be able to get rid of my pressure. Who is it? Who is it?" After landing safely, Bai Qi looked at the pale-faced Lin Wanyu. His expression was cold as he turned around and looked around. "Humph, you're hiding your head but showing your tail. Why don't you show yourself? Little mouse. How boring. However, I didn't come down from the Saint's world to meet such interesting guys like you in the godly realm." At this moment, the mysterious voice was heard again. "What? The Saint's world?" Hearing that, Bai Qi was taken aback and his face turned solemn. At this moment, he realized that things might be getting out of hand. If the other party really came down from the Saint's world, it was beyond what they could handle, unless Lin Ray took action in person. How is that possible? Dian Wei looked around in disbelief. The Saint's world? A saint? Are you trying to fool a fool? Can a saint come down from a saint's world? Really, can you not be so careless with your reasoning? At that moment, everyone looked at Dian Wei as though they were looking at a fool. TSK. How narrow-minded. Who says that saints can't come to the godly realm? The voice was full of mockery. It's fine if you don't believe me. I can prove it. Whoosh! Suddenly, a sound of something breaking through the air was heard. It was so fast that it had already arrived before Dianwei realized it. Oh no! After a dull noise, Dianwei tried to dodge, but it was already too late. A streak of golden light hit Dianwei, throwing him into the air like an object in a perfect parabola before he landed on the ground in a perfect posture. Pooh! The moment Dianwei landed on the ground, he spat out a mouthful of scarlet blood. His face was pale, and his chest was in turmoil. He couldn't help but spurt out a mouthful of blood. Sigh. It seems that I have to report this to young master. Looking at Dianwei, Bai Qi thought to himself. Others might not know, but he was well aware of Dianwei's strength. Now that he was sent flying and injured by a single attack, his strength was probably beyond that of a god. Young master, we're in trouble. The Rain Sect has discovered that a saint from a saint's world has been injured. With that in mind, Bai Qi didn't dare to be careless at all. He immediately took out the communication jade slip that Lin Ray gave him before he left and crushed it. Whoosh! A blue ray of light instantly shot out, shooting into the distance and disappearing into the vast horizon. Stunned, you're tuning in to the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.